Oh, we got a signal. Okay, everybody. Good morning. This might be a little bit late of a coffee for some of you guys, but I slept in this morning. I've been feeling a little under the weather the past few days, so I've been doing a lot of sleeping. We are live on Shannon Thomas Trucking on Facebook. Also today, that part figured out. So I don't know what that experience is like for people, but so we're broadcasting on YouTube and my Shannon Thomas Trucking Facebook page. And I was trying to figure out how to do the Instagram. And at this point, my brain's so foggy right now. Like, I don't know if I even made the Instagram page. I could swear I made the Instagram page, but it doesn't show up as one of the choices on StreamYard to choose from. So I don't know. I hope you guys are laughing when you see me fumbling through all this social media stuff. I hope you get a kick out of it. I'll figure it out eventually. I don't stress about it. So it's just like I'll stumble upon it one of these days. John Fairman is first in the house today. CB is in the house. Good morning. Big Dog Trucker 68, Nomadic Brit, Big Rig CEO. Good morning. And did you get out of Florida? Oh yeah, Big Rig CEO. Of course I did. I actually. I'm a little froggy, so forgive all the hems in the, I hope I don't cough. I took some cough medicine. Anyways, I went down to Miami, got a pickup right out of Miami, taking me back up to Jacksonville, and then I got one out of Jacksonville coming to Alabama, which Alabama is where I'm at now. It doesn't deliver till Monday, but I needed to go 34 anyway. So everything that's smooth as butter. However, I did not get to stop at Chicken Hawk's house, which I had hoped to do, but I didn't. I started getting funky whatever's going on. I haven't been sick in like 8 years, so this is blowing me away. I literally take vitamins every day. I live a super. What I do think I did is let myself get too dehydrated. Because I will drink coffee too many days in a row and not watch my water intake. So, caught a little something, and I didn't want to take it to the Chicken Hawk's house, give the goodies, So, that adventure got canceled, but I guess it all worked out because I wasn't able to line up low to get right back out of there. Jordan Jones is in the house. Dara's in the house. Good morning, you guys. Nomadic Brit says good morning from a very cold Ohio. Man, it's beautiful down here in Alabama. I slept with my window down all night. And when I get to stay at a place where I can do that, it just feels like camping. Like, like just waking up outside. So it was real nice. Big Dog Trucker 68 says, Nomadic Brit, sorry I haven't gotten back to you. Been a bit under the weather lately. Bigger CEO says, what rate out of Florida? So from Alabama, Miami to Jacksonville, I got $450. So, few money, right? So that got me there, which I knew I was going to bite it somewhere down there. And then from Jacksonville to Alabama, did I get in this right? I think I bid it coming out here too. Let me double check the number. I mean, I can say I at least got my fuel cost covered. This one here. Bear with me. I gotta find it. I got lots of rate-ons in because I booked up a whole bunch of lows. I just gotta pick the right one. That's not it either. Where's my book? Book is better. Anyways, I'm looking this up. Oh, here it is. So, yeah, to Jacksonville, I got 450, and then I got 735. That's from Jacksonville to Sylacauga, Alabama. So that's 385 miles, plus like 12 miles deadhead, right? So it's just about 400 miles. I got 735. Ouch. But it gets me over here. So then from over here, I booked a whole bunch of shorties going to Georgia, Alabama. So I'll be popping back and forth for a few days when the week gets started. And I'm going to make up some money because the shorties are paying better. So far, that's where we're at, Big Rig CEO. And I'm so glad that you came in here. I haven't seen you around in a little while. I know you've probably been busy. Fate Trucking's in the house. He says, good morning, y'all. I am at Sylacauga, Bama. God, I love Alabama. I don't know what it is about this place, but I just freaking love it here. It's probably the weather. Bull of the Woods is in the house. Good Sunday morning. Thank you, Bull of the Woods. Thanks for coming in. TBT USA is in the house. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, TBTs. Thomas Wilson says, I will always run the short game and make a killing. Yeah, I always do too, and that's what I always look for. But, it's been more sporadic lately and harder to find, and then making it work, right? Because when I get on my shorty game, I like to just keep them consistent, just hammer them out. And I'll run them as fast as I can. I really like to do that, especially in the Midwest. But lately, that hasn't been so easy in the Midwest. Dar says, I drink way too much coffee. Yeah, Dar, I swear you're my twin. I do too. And then I'll be sitting around, I work a lot, right? So then I'm thinking okay, when my lips are getting dry and chapped, I'm that's my first sign. Now I have to stop and remember how much water have I been drinking? And usually when it happens, it's pretty much not enough. So I start drinking a lot of water to replenish, and then also the lemon juice in the water because it helps rehydrate you very, very quickly. But in this case, I went too long. And I got some little germ on my way to Miami is when I started feeling it. And it really, really bummed me out because I had huge plans to hook up with Chicken Hawk and Special K. I literally had to drive with sad puppy eyes past the exit where I could have just pulled off and went to their house. But I'm not willing to give anybody germs or whatever, because that was the early stages of whatever. I didn't know how much what this thing was or what it was going to turn into, and I'm just not willing to put anyone at risk. So I had to let Chicky know that I was not going to make it this time. And it really sucked because I had the load set up and everything just perfectly so that I could have time to visit with them while I was down there. So we'll have to reschedule. Fate Truckin' says, short game out east is on fire. Never go to Florida unless on vacation. Yeah, well, I booked that load because it was really good money and it was light. And so, and at the time when I was booking, it was either I was looking at booking for 5 days and making $100, or I could take that load and go to Miami and chance it and make $1,600. I decided that we were going to Miami. So we did it. And I got out pretty unscathed. I didn't sit for a day, which is better than the last time I went to Jacksonville. So Thomas Wilson says, I run Shorty Pepsi. Everyone drinks Pepsi. Products are always rolling. Yeah, any shorties are good. Like they're good profit margins. If you can hook them up and you can connect them, I mean, that's the money for me. Dar says, I've been drinking tons of lemon water this week. That's good, Dar, because not only is lemon water high in vitamin C, but lemons are a very miraculous medicine fruit item. And it hydrates you quicker. It is a natural fat burner. And it is a ton of vitamin C. Like a ton. Like, forget taking your little pills. If you can put some lemon juice in your water every day, you're vitamin C'd up. Dar says, I think Brian is meeting him tonight. I hope he does. Because that's exciting. TBD says, I only go to Florida on vacation as well. Fate, we now call it home time. Yeah. Thomas Wilson says, take care, Shannon. Be careful, trailer trucking. Thank you, Thomas Wilson. I appreciate you coming in. Donald Peck is in the house. Good morning, Donald Peck. Fate says, no excuse never to go to Florida unless it's North Florida. Yeah, and that was my general rule, was just like, okay, I'll only go if I can go to Jacksonville or Lakeland. Because I know I can get out of those two places relatively easy. But this Miami load was paying like good money. And loads were in the crapper at the time I was booking, so I just went for it. And it's okay, because I actually did all right. The last time I went to Jacksonville, I mean, I went down to Miami and I was able to pick up a load 9 miles away in Miami and then take it back up to Jacksonville for gas money, for fuel money. I don't call that a loss, because I didn't sit. And then the minute I got to Jacksonville, made that drop, I just spent the night. And the next morning I had a load to pick up 13 miles from me there that brought me out to Alabama. But however, I did have to do it Monday. But by that time I was starting to feel bad. And so I drove Friday, and then, I shut down Friday afternoon here in Alabama so that I could get a 34 in. And so that 34 is probably up now as of last night. But like today, I'm resting. Like, I have to recharge myself. I've been taking the Dayquil and NyQuil to like keep me up and keep me, that allowed me to walk and do my laundry and walk and take my shower and clean up the truck and stuff like that. And I've been sleeping like the rest of the time. Wheel Burner Express is in the house. Good morning, Wheel Burner. I hope you run into Chicky Hot today. I'm excited to hopefully see something from you guys about that today. Me and Jerome are going to try to get together later for an interview because I've been wanting to interview Jerome for a while. We just have been, So we're trying to do it tonight at around 6 o'clock. Faye says, sorry, I'd never run for fuel money. There's so many more costs than just fuel being covered. Mainly my time. It's worth a lot more money than fuel money. Well, and I understand that. But when you get down in those places, like, you have to move. So it's a decision you make, like, okay, are you going to sit there for some days? Or are you going to move that truck now? Right? So that you can get back on your track, right? So, and I don't mean, when I say gas money, it like covers my truck costs for the day and then my fuel money. When I say gas money, I mean like my costs. So I should probably say that better. But it covers my costs. It doesn't cover my work or my time. So I do have to give that as a trade-off. But I agree with what you're saying. Unfortunately, that's not the situation down there in Florida. Sometimes you gotta, and that's why it's best to just like move. Or you can deadhead out and you can take the entire loss, right? But if I can find a load that's at least going to cover my truck cost to move, then I'm going to take it. Because then I moved. Like, look, now I'm out of there already, My name is Nobody is in the house. Good morning, all. Welcome. It's good to see you in here today. Faye Truckin says, that's why you never put yourself in that position. It should cover the driver's cost. I agree. I'm with you, Faye. I know. I'm done. Don't want to upset you or anyone. You're not upsetting me. I mean, that's real talk, Faye. Like, it doesn't upset me. Like, I know that. Sometimes you get yourself in situations, and I'm just like I said, last time I was in Jacksonville, I thought going to Jacksonville was going to, like, okay, no problem. I'll find something to bounce back up to Georgia or whatever, right? So I went in there with a positive attitude. I got stuck there for 3 days because I was holding out for, like, that trip to pay everything. I felt like that costed me more than it could have if I would have just took the rate that covered my truck costs to get moved. So it is what it is, but I'm not going to run for rates for 5 days and make $100. And if I got to run to Miami so that I can make $1,600 for the week, then I guess I got to run to Miami and chance it. And that was my thinking. And so I'm not going to run for $100 all week. I'm going to get my pay, right? So that's what it came down to. But I love you, Faye. Like, all you guys, like, don't ever think like I'm not the kind of person that gets pissed off. If you start insulting my integrity and my professionalism, I'm going to get pissed off. But it is absolutely okay for us to talk real talk and business. I'm a professional. It is what it is. We can say like it is. Please never worry about my feelings. I respect what you guys have to say, and I respect the reasons that you say it. And if it's something I need to learn, I am a willing student. I will never get mad at you for, like, straightening my shit out. Like, I appreciate that. Like, if I need to be corrected, please correct me. That's why I listen to you guys. That's why I love you guys. Like, I appreciate you. And if I have a reason for the things that I'm going to do or my decisions I have to make, I'm happy to explain where my head was at the time or what I was thinking at the time. And I'm willing to accept any helpful information that you guys give me. Please don't ever. And Faye, you are so kind. Like, I know sometimes you worry about when you say stuff because you're kind, and I know that about you. Like, I know you would never say something to hurt me unless you literally like come off like, but I don't feel that from you. I respect your opinion. I do. And I respect what you have to say. And there's times that you may not do something in your business that I might have to do, or vice versa, right? So I appreciate you, Faith. Please don't ever feel like you're going to upset. Like say it. I get excited when people get passionate about what, what they're trying to say. So, and I know that you do on your channel, and I appreciate your honesty and you being forthright. Like, I really do. So please know that. Like, I respect everything that you have to say. And I'm not mad at you. I'm not. I mean, I'm not going to say I make the best decisions every single time, but there's a point where I get myself in a situation and then I got to solve it. Right? So it's okay. Like, nobody hate me for that. You got to move. Like, yeah, sometimes I'm going to take a loss and sometimes I'm going to win. And there's another dart driver. I wave at people and be nice, and they're just like, why is she waving at me? Why is she waving? I'm just nice. He's like, I'm done. Faith's like, I'm done. No, it's okay. I love you, Faith. Stepped in Trucking is in the house. Good morning, Shannon. Are you still in Florida? No, I'm in Alabama. We're stuck in Alabama this week. I'm in Alabama right now, enjoying the absolutely amazing weather. Big Rig CEO says every load can't be perfect, and all loads together for the week and then decide if your week is profitable based on the total. Right, Big Rig CEO. So I'm of the mind where I do the, my weekly average or my per day or whatever, right? And sometimes I have bad per days. But if I see that it's going to get me into the numbers where I need to be to make the week right, then for that day, I have to make that move, right? Sometimes it works out that way. I look at it. I feel like I look at it on 3 layers, right? Like, I look at what it is per mile, what it is per day. And then, because I know my number that I need to reach per day. And then if I can't, because it's a bad day or there's not, I just can't find a load to meet that, then I know, okay, well, I came short this day, so I want to come over the next day to make up for it, right? So then by the end of the week, we have our per day average by the end of the week. TBT says, I'm upset now, Faye. He is not. TBT, you're so funny. No matter, Britt says, note to self, don't leave truck running and drop your spare key in the truck because you get locked out and get charged $125 for the experience like I did this morning. Okay, wait. Don't leave the truck running and drop your spare key in the truck. Oh, you locked yourself out of the truck. Were you at a truck stop, Nomadic Brit? Because I know if you're at a truck stop, then you can go in and get those Slim Jim kits inside the truck stop, and they're like $25. And you can get yourself out of that mess. Big Rig CEO recommends, Brit, you always keep a spare key in your wallet. This is what I do. I have this big sloppy mess of keys on a lanyard, right? And I have trained myself that no matter what I'm doing, I have to have this in my hand. This has my extra key on it. This has my driver's license on it. If I get out of this truck, I must have this or I can't walk away from my truck. So that's how I handle it. I've always felt like I still want to stick an extra key in one of those magnetic things, like somewhere on the truck. No matter where it says TBT, it happens, learning curve, right? Snorlord, the Metalhead Viking Caveman Truckers in the house. Woo! Good morning, everyone. What the heck is going on around here? Woo! Oh, I like the attitude. He's coming in shouting. Good morning, Snorlord. We're talking about getting out of Florida and locking ourselves out of our truck and having to pay somebody to come get us out. Nomadic Briss says, hey, Big Rig, it is always in my wallet, and that's what's confused me. So apparently Nomadic Brit dropped his spare key out of his wallet somehow. He didn't realize it. Accidentally locked himself out of his truck. And so now he had to pay $125 to get somebody to let him in his truck. Fistful of Dollars is in the house. Good morning, especially to the super trucker talking. My name is Nobody says, I always carry 2 separate keys. Been there, done that. Sorry to hear that. Yeah, it sucks to do that, doesn't it? It makes you feel stupid. Makes me feel stupid because when I do stupid stuff, I let myself feel stupid about it. A Fistful of Dollars says death metal rap. That's a thing. Oh, Snorlo says Faith mad at me because he has now discovered death metal rap. Fistful of Dollars says that's a thing. Aaron Petticourt's in the house. Good morning, Aaron. Welcome. Big CEO. So my question to you is, was the Florida week a profitable decision? Yes, compared to what I was facing if I didn't go. Stepped in Trucking says, this week has been a bad week for miles. Next year I'm taking the month of December off. Okay, Stepped in it. Yeah, I think about it. I think like, man, I'd sure like to take off the winter months. But I'm definitely not in that position while I'm paying a lease payment on a truck. So the lease rules right now. Can't sugarcoat it. Can't act like I got all these flexibility decisions I can make. Like, I got to cover my truck payment. I got to cover my groceries. Got to cover my cell phone bill. And fuel. And then I got to cover the cost of the accountant and my payroll for my business. So as long as I'm covering all those things and I'm putting a few dollars in the bank account, I'm surviving at least. Lord knows I had enough time off for truck repairs this season, right? This year. So I'm done with that. I'm in run mode. I gotta just try to finish out the last of the year as best as I can. That's the goal. Snorlord says the best time to lose it, the key is when the truck stalls on the railroad tracks. Just walk away. That's funny, Snorlord. Oh, the metaverse says things don't stress me. Life is too short. There you go. That's the attitude. Life is too short to be stressed out. Life is too short to get angry over whatever. I mean, there's some serious things you should get angry about, but but I will say that when I lose something, especially in my truck, or I misplace something, because we are in a space that is so small, and then I actually misplace something, I'm like, it's so ridiculous. It frustrates me completely. Like, it frustrates me so bad, I have to start praying to God. Like, God, please help me find my keys, because if I don't, it's going to make me, like, I'm going to obsess over it and go crazy. And then I'll find it. But I did misplace my TWIT card, which really sucked, because I literally, like, and I won't admit that I lost something, because I never lose things, but I will misplace things. So I had to go through my whole truck. I mean, from top to bottom to every single thing, like, and I don't have that much stuff in here, so I make it sound more than what it is, but I had to look everywhere for my TWIC card before I could accept that I actually lost it and order another one, because there's $60 to get your replacement TWIC card. However, I had it in my little holder, and it must have fallen out somehow because it is not in the truck anywhere. So it must have fallen out when I was running, because sometimes I run with my keys and they jingle, and I had it in this thing right here, right? So I think it just popped out. Anyway, that cost me $60 to replace, and it took about a couple weeks for me to get my new TWIC card. So, but I have it. When I was at home for Thanksgiving, I picked it up, so now I have it. It's in a different place. I got a new lanyard, one of these from Dart, and there's my TWIC card and my fuel card, so that hangs right here, so I can't lose it. That's where I actually got this load. This load right here, I got it from the port, so I needed my TWIC card to get it, so that was kind of cool. It should have been more money, though, because a TWIC card was required. Fistful of Dollars says, I got 3 keys hidden around my truck. Tanker Monkey's in the house. Good morning, Tanker Monkey. Ready to head to Mexico. That sounds cool. Paul Anguiano is in the house. Hi, cutie. Hi, Paul. Thanks for coming on in. Pastor Karen Morse is in the house. Hey, there's that beautiful smiley face. Good morning, Pastor Karen Morse. It's great to see you in here. Karen is like my BFF forever and ever. Don Stronger's in the house. Good morning, Don. Sage Live Outcast is in the house. Hey, Sage. Hey, now. I love what you and the wife are doing. Like, it's so much fun. Snorlord, the Metalhead Viking Caveman Trucker says, I just leave the keys in the truck unlocked and just hope for the best. Jaywalk's in the house. Good morning, Jaywalk. Welcome. It's good to see you in here, Jaywalk. Fistful of Dollars says, if you screw up, go big. Yeah, I mean, right? Why not? If you're gonna do something, go all out. That's what I'm saying. Dolina's in the house. Edward 66 Transport. She says, good morning, sister. Good morning, Dodie. Just coffee time today. Twitch is in the house. Twitch, are you Twitch SK or are you somebody different? That's my question for you, because I have seen Twitch SK in here before. So I'm curious. Let me know. Good morning, drivers. Zip ties are cheaper than a locksmith, right? Hey, but like they sell the Slim Jim kits in the truck stop so that you can get one of those, and they're cheaper than a locksmith. Tank Kelly, the trucking golfer, is in the house. Good morning, Tank Kelly, the trucking golfer. Good morning. Short-term pain for long-term gain. Amen to that. Yeah. This is my journey on YouTube, right? This is the whole thing I'm doing here, is the short-term pain for the long-term gain. Nomadic Risk says, I will be in Fulton, New York for 6 p.m. tonight, take my 10 and then get offloaded in the morning and then back up to crazy New Jersey. Yeah, so I know Fate's been running to New Jersey and you've been running to New Jersey, and you guys both say that it's crazy. But it also seems like you guys are both making some decent money up there. So sometimes you got to do something crazy for some good money. Or for some money in this case. The market's so crazy. Like in the last couple weeks, maybe months, I would even dare say, I've been doing things that I wouldn't normally want to do. Just so that I can keep my income up where it's semi-reasonable. Survival-ish. I don't know what to say about it. So it looks like everybody's on YouTube in here. I'm wondering how the Facebook page works. Karen, if you're still in here, will you go to my Shannon Thomas Trucking Facebook page and see what that looks like for me, and then like comment on there, because I don't know if it comes in here or not. I'm trying to figure out this multi-platform business. So Snorlord, are you heading out to church this morning? There were some things I wanted to talk about too. What else is going on? Let me land here. So I don't know if I mentioned it before. Chicken Hawk is here. Good morning, Chickie. I had already told everybody the situation. Okay, Snorlord. I won't expect you to be hanging out too long because I know you got to run and do all that business, which is great. Britt says, exactly. I hate New Jersey and New York, but the rates are worth it. Yeah, you know, I've been watching Fate's videos. Oh, I was just wondering if you want to come in, you know, hang out, talk some stuff. Six Temper Triuranus is in the house. Good morning, Sick. Great to see you. I hope everybody's drinking some good coffee this morning. But yeah, so I've been watching Fate's. Like when Fate goes to New Jersey and he does some videos, like I'm looking, right? I'm looking back there. I'm looking like it doesn't look terrible. And because I do get offered some pretty awesome loads to New Jersey, and I think about them, and I always try to find something else. But the more Fate does New Jersey videos, I look at how scary it really looks, and it doesn't look scary from his videos, at least where he's going. So I'm feeling like I might want to take one and try it, especially in times when the rates are so low every place else where I normally run. And just like kind of break my I was gonna say something else, but I'm gonna say get my toes in the water. Okay, Twitch. Twitch is formerly Twitch SK. He's now shortened it to Twitch for everybody. Jersey is easy. It's Manhattan that you got to worry about. Okay, TBT doesn't like Jersey City. And this is my thing, right? I run Chicago all the time. Detroit, Indianapolis. Where else have I went? That's kind of weird. Busy. Atlanta. And so I've even went up to Maryland. I went up to Vermont once. So I guess I have to mentally like get past, like Miami was scary for me, but I did it. And Miami was very, very tight. Very, 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 very packed with people. But I've also been to El Paso and Laredo. Miami reminded me of those areas, the way the streets are and the way, right? So I really wasn't fazed too much by Miami, except that it was tight. I'm wondering how much worse, and I'm sure this is like a mental perception that I have to get past. And there's only one way to get past it. I need to go. So I just feel like, okay, what is so bad about, like, why does everyone freak out about Jersey? Like, Detroit sucks. And I'll go to Detroit. So how much worse can it be? And I don't mean crime-wise, like, because I don't care. I'm from Flint, Michigan, okay? I don't care about that. I'm just talking danger, crazy one-way streets, alley docking, that kind of business, right? This Trucking Life is in the house. He says, hi, Shannon in chat. How you doing? Good morning. Thanks for coming in. Pioneer Spirits in the house. Another one of our Canadian friends. Welcome, Pioneer Spirits. Good to see you. If you didn't see, I did share Pioneer Spirits post where he was thanking truckers. It is on my community page. It's very heartwarming, and so I posted it for everybody because I think it's good for us to hear sometimes. So if you get a chance, check it out. This is a gentleman in Canada that really appreciates what we do, and he was very brave and not afraid to post it up for us. So I did share it on my community page for everybody to see. He gave us some love in there, so I just thought it was really nice. Snowlord says, but in van, the rates coming out of Jersey are trash, so you have to look at that. Fate doesn't have to deal with that. Okay. Yeah. See, and that's the thing. Going into Miami, it was great, but it's trash coming out. I knew that. But I was looking at, okay, it's either that or I run all these loads for trash all week and I literally walk out Friday with $100. Or do I walk out with $1,600 and just try to fare my way out of Florida, working 2 days for free pretty much. But see, this is the other thing I look at. It to me, a lot of people say, I'm not making any money. Pay for a truck. If I wasn't making any money for real, I wouldn't be able to keep up my truck payment. I wouldn't be able to pay for my fuel. I wouldn't be able to pay my operating costs for my business. I am making those expenses. So I can't say I can say that my business is covering its costs. I might not be making a whole bunch of money as the employee right now, but my business is making enough money to cover its costs and pay me some. So I'm an analyst. So when somebody's like, I'm not making any money, I'm like, are you paying for your truck? Because what we tend to forget is that if you came out into an agreement to be buying a truck or leasing a truck, you are making, if you're covering that lease payment, you are making that money. So you are making money, but you made an agreement to spend it. And which leads me back to my little mantra: the lease purchases are designed to help you get a truck, not to pay you. Your strategy is going of you getting little extra profit on that is going to be what pays you. TBD says, but I will get more Northeast driving experiences since my lane is now Massachusetts to California and back. Holy smokes, TBT. So are you saying, TBT, that you guys got that on the regular now? You're going Massachusetts to California? Boop, 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 boop. TBT says, TTL, This Trucking Life is saying hi to This Trucking Life. Chicken Hawk says, I ran Manhattan every week for 20 years. I'll take Manhattan over New Jersey. See, so now I got to understand what that means, Chicky. Because is Manhattan New York, right? I'm not real good with that geography in the area. So what is it? What freaks everybody out? What is it? If it's tight streets, so what? I'm already doing that in other areas. I don't think I should have anything to be afraid of, right? If it's crime, I'm not worried about that. I'm always on guard no matter what, wherever I'm at. If it's dangerous to my CDL, because it's so terrible or tight or whatever, I guess. That's something maybe I should look at. I'm just trying to like, what is it that everybody's still like, because people say that about Chicago, and I get what they're saying about Chicago, but since I've driven Chicago, like I got all that worked out of my system, and I'm not like, I just, you learn how to be careful there, right? So I feel like that I just need to like get that out of my system. Six Semper Tyranna says New England sucks. Yeah, I have only went up to Vermont. That's the farthest I went, and I went to Maryland. Twitch says the rule in Jersey and New York, if it says Parkway, do not take a truck on it. Anything else is fair game. Okay. Noted. Thank you for the advice, Twitch. Edinburgh says this load I picked up yesterday from Chattanooga, 900 miles to customer in Fulton, pays $3.96 a mile. That's pretty cool. That's probably low for you, though, I would think. Six says those Milltown roads are the worst. Why? Just because I'm somebody that has never been there. Like, say it in a way, because why? Are they one ways? Are they small? Like, what is so bad about what you guys are saying? Trucker Jason's in the house. Good morning, Trucker Jason. He says, good morning, Shannon chat. Chicken Hawk says, Detroit doesn't count, Shannon. You're a Michigan girl. Right. But Detroit sucks. Like, I hate going to Detroit because currently now the past couple of years it's under massive construction. So it's very crazy. But what I'm trying to understand is Jersey, what way is Jersey bad? Like, what does everybody talk about? Why are people so negative against going to New Jersey? I'm trying to understand what the reason is. Like, I know everybody's like, oh, I'm not going to Jersey. And it must be something because they're offering higher rates to go to Jersey. So why is that? What's the stigma? You know, because I've even said it to Fate. I've said, oh, I'm not going to Jersey. But now I think about it, I'm like, look where I do go, though. Like, and I'm straight. So what is it really that I need to decide to do or not to do in Jersey? I guess I need a little more information. So when Fate's Truckins, by the way, if you are not subscribed to Fate Truckins channel, he's got a great channel. He's a reefer guy, and he shows a lot of stuff that he does. And he explains it, and he says very interesting things. So I've been trying to look in the background when he's been filming where he's at when he's doing like a Jersey load, and trying to understand a little bit more, you know. Dar says, I recognize his face and went to look and see why. I know him as Social Dilemma. Yeah, Pioneer Spirit was Social Dilemma, and he's changed his name too, which I think Pioneer Spirit is very much more positive. So I like it. Thumbs up. Pioneer Spirit says, I love truckers. I'm not one, but have always dreamed to haul fuel in a K100E with my dog. No monkey. That's a nice dream, Pioneer Spirit. Chicken Hawk says, do Florida and you can have fun for 2 days. Yeah. So if I go to Florida, and when I go to Florida, because I will go back down to Florida, I was really trying to look at the rates and just kind of see what it's like down there. There was a lot of short runs for like $10 a mile, $7 a mile, $8 a mile. Like, there's lots of those. So I probably could have hung out and bopped around and made some really good money for a little bit. But the space between those loads that I was looking at I was going to lose too much time. But I think I could have even got away with it. But I was feeling so crappy. I just was like, I better get out of here while I have the chance, right? So I did. Snowlord says he can come in for a few. Okay. How far am I behind the comments? Ooh, way far. Okay, let me get the link up. TBT, I know you're being sarcastic. Bill's in the house. Hey, Bill, good morning. Okay, let me handle this here. Where's my invite? Copy. Okay, Snorlord, I posted the link if you'll hit that. Six Number Tyrannus says Central Massachusetts is probably worse than Jersey, in my opinion. I haven't been to Massachusetts. Trucker Jason says the closer you get to Boston, the worse the traffic gets. Wilburner Express. What's he say? Jersey has bad roads, poorly marked street signs, and lots of other container jockeys, crazed drivers who don't care, narrow streets, easily excited cops, and so on and so on. I love it there. Okay, good morning, Snorlord.
Good morning, Shannon. Hey, so here's how we handle Jersey, okay? Back when I was a company driver, we would run to Jersey quite a bit. We would deliver in Monroe Township, Jersey, which was right there next to Costco. We were delivering Barnes and Noble. That wasn't too bad because you're on 95 and there's some travel centers there that you can park at. There's a pet show that you can pay for parking. So parking was never an issue. And then occasionally they would send us into Newark to grab loads. And that became kind of, you're using your skills. There was one time where in order to make just the right turn on this massive, like 4-lane traffic road, I can never get out. So I literally had to kind of force my way out. I had to go in front of one lane and actually hold my hand out, stop the car, and then waited till I saw someone that was paying attention, got in the second lane, and then waited till the third lane was clear enough. I mean, I literally had to block the whole road to get out, right?
Wow.
But from a company driver standpoint, it's great to learn because, I used to ride with my dad when he ran produce up to Hunts Point, New York. I mean, you want to talk about traffic. I mean, I'm sure it's probably 20 times worse now. But as an owner operator, when it comes to Jersey, in a van, not reefer, but in a van, you're going to take a hit coming out. And so if you decide to do a load in New Jersey, it's just like Florida. When you decide to do a load anywhere, you should have a strategy on how to get out.
Yeah.
So that's how I look at that. You look at the location of where the delivery is. So when you call in a load, hey, I'm looking at this load going to so-and-so, New Jersey, look at the location, ask them for the address. If they don't give you the address, don't take the load. Ask for the customer. And then you want to avoid like stuff that delivers at 5 and 6 a.m. or 7 a.m. or 8 a.m. because parking could be a big issue. So you have to have a strategy to go in. And so when I would do these Monroe Township Jersey loads, I had a parking strategy ready because most places don't let you spend the night. Now, if you find a delivery that does let you spend the night there, then that's great. And then that's where you got to worry about the crime a little bit. But of course, I don't worry about the crime, and you know why. But so The other thing about Jersey is tolls. So
Oh,
when you go into Jersey and you add up all the tolls, and then you add up the higher fuel costs, and you add up probably parking costs, and then the hassle and the stress of dealing with, now I know that your experience with big cities, like Chicago and places like that, but Jersey can be on a whole different level. And while it's doable, it's a great learning experience. It's almost better to learn on someone else's dime, because now you're not worried about tolls or any of that stuff. Now, when you're out in the country in New Jersey, now you have to worry about certain highways that don't even want trucks going through their town. So you have to be aware of that. And Google doesn't tell you those kind of things. So
right.
when you look at a load that's going into New Jersey, you got to strategize where it's going, when it delivers, and what do you get coming out, and what's the rate going to be coming out. And so at the end of the day, your net per day is probably not going to be much more than a normal run, just staying in the right areas that you know. Now, with that being said, what Fate is doing is completely different. It's LTL reefer. That's a whole different ball game. That's where the money's at. So your best paying loads out of New Jersey are going to be multiple stop loads. But like, we had a driver here at Like that got $3,500 to go from South Georgia to Miami, because it was 2 pickups and 2 stops. So, so that's where that strategy is. And that's why Fate can do that. So if you want the learning experience, I suggest picking something that's right off of 95, and make sure you look at your market coming out, because the best rates coming out of New Jersey are going right to Florida. So, and I have friends that live up there. So like, if I booked a load for myself to go up to New Jersey, I would call him up and say, hey, what do you know about this place? What do you know about where I need to park? Where do you know how I need to strategize to get in and out of there? That's how you handle that.
Yeah, I had booked one time with one of the brokers I was working with, and I did it. It was one of those where I was driving and he was kind of being pushy, and he kind of got me to agree to this load. It was good money and whatever. But then once I stopped the truck and I looked at it, it was seriously like a really tough looking. I looked it up on Google, and it was a really bad alley type situation where it looked completely horrible. And I looked in the area, it was like in a residential type area, and I just called them back and I canceled it, because it was just the way the whole thing rolled out. I wasn't feeling right about it. And when I got to looking at it on the map, it looked just bananas.
Yeah.
That was as close as I ever got going there. Then I haven't anything there,
Let me plug my phone in here. So yeah, I mean, it's just like anything else. You want a strategy going in and out of there. No parkways. I'll tell you a story. So the last time I was in the Northeast, I picked a load, went to Pennsylvania, which I know Pennsylvania pretty good. And then I had a pickup in Jessup, Maryland. Well, I suddenly instantly became a rookie, because I made a couple of critical mistakes. And I got on this ramp thinking that I could just back out of it. Well, it was kind of an S curve, and there was too many cars going fast. So I actually had to get on a parkway. And here's what I did. There was a construction crew that was part of the problem. And what it was a miss. So there was a sign saying no through trucks. And I took that as I can't go down that road, but that's where the shipper was. And I didn't call the shipper to verify that, which was mistake number one. And then because of construction and all these no truck routes that were there, that were definitely no trucks, not just no through trucks, I got on this ramp and I couldn't get out of it. So I had to get on the parkway. But before I did, I had to I talked to a truck driver, I talked to the construction crew, and I looked at Google Maps, and I looked at Street View, and I could literally get to the next exit without any overpasses, because that's what gets you on the parkway. And I literally drove right by Homeland Security. Like I could see the building and I'm waving, and I immediately get off the parkway, and then I circle back around, found the spot. That was after the shipper told me, "Oh yeah, ignore that sign." So I was stressed to the max. I got loaded.
It's nerve-wracking.
Right, yeah, and the dock and everything wasn't easy. I mean, and what's interesting is I've had easier times in Newark, New Jersey, versus Jessup, Maryland. So, I've picked up and delivered in downtown Baltimore. You just got to be aggressive. You got to be aggressive. I mean, so at the end of the day, at the end of the run, at the end of the load, at the end of the week, you look at it and you're like, wow, I only netted maybe $50 more than if I would have just stayed where I know. So, because you look at the tolls, you look at the fuel, you look at all that stuff, and so when people go, hey, do you go to New Jersey? I go, well, it depends. It's gotta be good money, and it's got to be something that's not taking me some small mom and pop grocery store in the middle of Newark.
That's kind of mentally like how I have it pictured. Like it's those places. You know what I mean? And I'm like, I don't care to put myself through it like that, like not when I can run in my Northwest area and just be like comfortable,
I had a friend years ago. She was a YouTuber, and she did LTL flatbed. And she wasn't owner operator; she was company, and she loved the Northeast. I mean, she's been in Manhattan delivering. She had pictures and everything. She got quite a few tickets for that, but the company paid for it. The customer just needed that materials there. It was at a job site, and she thrived on that. So if you're the kind of person that thrives on that, then yeah, it's great. But that learning curve can get expensive as an owner operator, whereas a company driver, you get that learning experience. And, if you screw up something or, something happens, it's on their dime, not yours.
Right.
So that's what Jersey's about. It's, you got to look at the tolls, you got to look at parking, you got to look at the time as well because of traffic. And, and then usually your best rates coming out of Jersey are going right down to Florida. So, I know that I've seen like $1.20, $1.50. So look at the lane value coming out of Jersey. So if you do Jersey, maybe pick something near Pennsylvania, that coming out of there is what you also got to look at as well. And so your best rates are going to get you deeper into the Northeast, and you're kind of going deeper in the hole because of the tolls. It costs money to drive through Connecticut now, and you can't even bring a truck in Providence, Rhode Island. So I mean, you gotta. That's why I make a rule. I usually don't go east of Columbus. I think the furthest east I went with Schneider, besides one trip to Pennsylvania, is I used to do loads to Glendale, West Virginia all the time, and then I would just deadhead to Ohio to get something out.
Okay. So, yeah, Virginia is another one that sometimes it's okay to go there and sometimes it's not. Like sometimes
if you do Virginia,
a good offer going in there.
Roanoke. If you do Virginia, Roanoke market's your best market, and you want it to be a lighter load for fuel.
Yeah. So. I'm trying to stay away from the mountains right now, like so bad. Like I am over it. I'm ready to just run flat for a while now, because I can go to the mountains 2 or 3 trips, and I've gotten on here and I said I'm never going to the mountains again. Guess what my next load is? I'm going back to the mountains. But it's like I'm worried about hitting weather now, and it's just exhausting. Like it's not that I can't drive them. To me, mentally, like it's just like it slows me down. My truck's not geared for the mountains. 9 times out of 10, the loads that I got to take are 40 to 43,000 pounds in the mountains. My truck doesn't like it. Like I feel extra vibration coming after, like I get that load off and I feel my truck's feels like it's not happy. So I'm just like, I gotta quit making these runs, you know.
So
But
you're in a position, and here's what I found with a couple of my trucks and my own at times, is that you can't help but be in a bad market sometime, right? You can't help but landing, like you're eventually
yeah,
going to land in Florida. And so the best state, in my opinion, it's just my opinion, people can blast me if they want for van. The best bad market for me is Texas, because it's flat, it's warmer, the fuel's cheaper.
yeah,
There are some tolls like going around Austin, and there's some tolls in Dallas or whatever. It's they're not a big deal. Um, and I cut my teeth in Dallas, so I mean that's, you know, as a company driver, I did a ton of Dallas freight. I mean, so I know Dallas pretty good. So it's not intimidating to me. Houston's just a pain in the ass. And oh, sorry for the language. And um, and then Laredo. Laredo can be tricky because there's 20 trucks for each one car. And in Laredo, you do have to worry about safety. So, but again, you strategize when you go in, you strategize when you come out. Um,
I've been
and
to Laredo and El Paso so much. Like right after I got my CDL and I started teaming, and we went from Michigan down there. Like, so I've been down there a lot. So it was like that's kind of where I cut my teeth at. And so that doesn't even phase me now, right? Because I've been down there a lot. And you know, so I don't worry about places like that. It is crazy down there. And it is crazy in Detroit, and it's crazy in Atlanta, and it's crazy in Dallas. I hate going to Dallas, but I'll do it, and I can drive it. You know what I mean? But it's mainly it's because of the construction and stuff like that. And it's
well,
so,
what was the last time you were in Dallas?
oh, probably like 3 weeks ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So
I took a load
Dallas is
down.
the same way. Dallas is the same way. I will make sure that it's, I'm not going to do anything that delivers at 6 a.m. in Dallas that doesn't allow overnight parking. Now, I have a few hiding spots that I've been able to save. You find some industrial park that, don't have any gates or whatever that you can park at. That
Yeah,
usually
I
is what I
really
do.
I really negotiate my butt off to try to, like, if I'm going to go in there, I figure that out ahead of time. Like, I'll talk to the security guard and be like, listen, can I just pull over here? Like, just to stay here. I'll get there early enough to where, like, I just need to stay here overnight. I deliver first thing in the morning. Like, I pull all those things out so I can negotiate trying to stay there on premises, because I do not want to get stuck in trying to get there in that morning rush hour traffic at all costs. So far I've been lucky.
Well, so I had a really good paying load that came from Denver because it was a multi-stop load. I got $3.45 a mile for that one.
Yeah.
That went down to Mercedes, Texas. And so that was a good paying run. And then we got $2 a mile to go from Laredo to Neosho, Missouri.
Okay.
And then, and plus, like trucking, we have Texas Interstate. So you can literally bounce around Texas and make decent money. So there's that aspect. But if you're going to deal with the down market or, a bad lane value market, Texas is the easiest to maneuver. It pays better than Florida. You don't have the hassle of coming out of New Jersey. And so, I tend to bounce from Wisconsin, Michigan, back down to Missouri, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Texas. Oklahoma, I have a strategy. Oklahoma's got to be in the Tulsa area because I can grab loads out of Fort Gibson, Muskogee, Okmulgee, Henrietta, Joplin. Market is only 100-mile deadhead. If you do Oklahoma City, you're kind of in the no zone. because you're looking at a pretty good deadhead each direction. You're looking at 100 some odd miles to Tulsa. You're looking at 100 some odd miles into Dallas. If you do Ardmore, you're more likely Ardmore or Duncan. You're more likely going to use the Dallas market to come out. So, so you just kind of strategize ahead. And I know that with the list of brokers you can use, it's limited. I can give you some contacts up in Wisconsin and up and down in Georgia that are multi-stop that I think that you would enjoy, and they pay really good. I mean, the loads out of Grovetown will pay close to $3 a mile, $2.40 to $3, depending on what the Atlanta market is doing. And then the loads out of mid-Wisconsin, they pay $3 to $3.50 a mile, and they're multi-stops, they're easy stops. So
I've never minded so far multi-stops. You know what I mean? Like
that's where the money's at, Shannon. A lot of people don't want to do them.
I don't know why people don't like it. Like, to me, it keeps me busy. You know? What is that noise?
The only bad thing about some multiple stop loads is if it takes too much time. So you're doing a $2,000 run with 4 stops, and it takes you 8 days to do. You know, you got to watch out for stuff like that. So the multiple stop stuff that I like to do, it doesn't have appointment times, and so the quicker you can get them off,
that's how I've done them, because I didn't have any pressure like that. I just had to go boop, 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 you know, and then I get them off early or quickly. So it's worked out for me. But I've seen some that I chose not to take that had appointment times that were like over days.
Come on with it. No, I've never done the furniture loads. I did grab a couple out of Neosho, and those pay decent. You know, you got Lazy Boy there in Neosho, Missouri. So,
where's Neosho? What is it? Where is that?
Huh?
Where's Neosho?
It's literally 15 miles from Joplin, Missouri.
Oh, in Missouri. Okay.
Yeah, so Neosho's got a couple of great shippers there. Okay. Especially in early fall, you've got small appliances that come out of there, and then there's a seed store there, and there's some dog food that comes out of there. So there's some really good loads that come in and out of Neosho.
Okay. We're getting some feedback. Where is that coming from?
I have no idea, but I'll get off here, Shannon. I just wanted to kind of explain how I look at Jersey.
No,
yes, you can make good money going in, but you want to know.
Understand.
Well, yeah, I'm trying to help you understand. For me, it's not, well, I hate traffic, or it's tight, or, you know, I'm scared. It's more about, can I maximize my time efficiently up there?
Yeah.
And what's my profit margin running up there? And that's how I look at any market, right? And so if it's Monroe Township and I've got a decent paying load coming out of Pennsylvania after that, then I'm good, right? So I have no problem. But then you go to the broker like, well, it's New Jersey. I'm dealing with this and this, so I need to be at this level, you know, and you kind of use that to your advantage, knowing that it's an easy load. But you don't want to go in there not knowing what you're getting into and not knowing the location that you're going to, because getting lost in Jersey, it's worse than Chicago or LA, because you can definitely get in some major trouble. And the CB is useless up there. New Jersey is the only place where I actually turn it off, like click off. I don't just turn down, I turn off, because just there's too much radio traffic. That's nonsense. So
really,
yep, it makes Memphis look like a cakewalk as far as CB radio. So you know, you just got to know what you can do and what you're doing, and just be aware of the rates coming out, and don't fall into that. Oh, here's a load going to Maine for X amount. That sounds like a good idea, and then not have a plan coming out, because now you're further into the Northeast and you're going to take a hit coming out regardless. So
yeah. No, I appreciate you coming on and giving the in-depth description about all that, because I just didn't understand really exactly what the big hoopla was about. At first I thought it was tolls, and then I've heard people say, well, once you cross this bridge, then it's hell, right? Like don't do anything that crosses the bridge. So I don't really understand what that's about, you know. So
Well, truckers complain a lot, so there's that. So
yeah,
just
because some people have told me, well, if you run Chicago and you ain't got no problem with Chicago, then you ain't gonna have no problem anywhere else, right? So I'm like, well, okay, you know, but you know, I also know that if I get lost in Chicago, it's bad. Like you have to really just stay where you're supposed to stay, you know? And so when I go into an area I've never been into before, and then you make a wrong turn or you find yourself in a situation like you did, the amount of stress you were going through, like freaking out, is like massive for that period of time until you can figure out how to get out of it, you know?
yep. So just, you know, it's like anything else. Have a strategy. It could be good money going in. The rates that I see aren't worth it, right? I see, oh wow, they're paying $225 to go into Jersey. Yay. You know, don't fall for anything like that.
Yeah.
Just look at your net, just like Florida. You know, just look at your net at the end of the week on that. And once you do one Jersey load, you'll kind of understand what some people are complaining about. And look, if you can thrive in that environment, then now you're going to make money because you're doing things that nobody else wants to do. That's Fate's secret, right? Is he's doing the
Yeah.
things that no one else wants to do, and that's why he's doing well. So if you have a broker that's got a constant, steady customer in Jersey that you know that you can spend the night, or you know it's an easy delivery, or you know how to get in and how to get out without any issues, then you could thrive in that market and come out of there with a decent backhaul. But you got to, you know, you just got to look at that time. But if it's just some random broker low going to Jersey, just proceed with caution and have a strategy coming out.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, no,
but
I mean, that's ultimately what it comes down to. The professor in the house, and he's asking you if you are ready for some gospel this morning.
yeah, he knows. But anyways,
ready.
yeah, a lot of people are like, you go to church, what? You know, so I do. It's new. It's new for me. So, but anyways, we won't get into that. Shannon, have a great morning. I'm going to sit back and just listen now. Someone else can come in. But I was sitting there screaming on the phone, give me a link so I can tell you about Jersey. Because it's not an easy yes or no answer. You know, there's a lot of people are like, oh, I don't go to Jersey. You know, I once talked to a driver that was like, you know, I know that he was struggling a little bit. And I'm telling him these kind of strategies, right? Well, I don't do that. Okay, well, I don't do this. Okay. Yeah, I'm really picky. I don't do that. I'm like, and then at one point he just said, I'm gonna just park the truck and file bankruptcy. And I'm like, so you'd rather file bankruptcy than go into Chicago occasionally? You'd rather file bankruptcy than maybe go to Dallas on occasion? You know, I mean, that's the mindset of a lot of drivers, you know, and that's why you have a lot of people, you know,
yeah,
get them out of the way.
Drivers don't, but once it's like, once I do it and I can decide if it's manageable for me or not. Like I'll try anything once, you know, and I'll go a lot of places that people won't go now, and I actually enjoy it. Like it's fine with me. So I'm always up for like, yeah, I'll try to go and like see what happens. You know, I'd rather break that fear first, you know, and then I'm like, okay, well now I know why I don't want to do it, why I won't do it, or it's totally fine to do it. Like I'm not afraid to do it, you know. So
well, did I tell you my Chicago story when I first started driving?
I don't know, but you can tell it.
Okay, so So I was like 2 months into my I think it was 1 or 2 months into my trucking career as a solo driver. And my company sends me a load picking up in the yard, going to 35th Street, Chicago, Illinois. Now, even with my dad, I'd never been through or in Chicago.
Okay.
The wife and I would go up to Milwaukee for a music festival, and my dad would give me directions on how to avoid Chicago. He goes, I avoid Chicago because of all, he was like, I avoid Chicago. He didn't really tell me why other than a bunch of construction. So I had no experience with Chicago whatsoever. So this is back when you were on paper. And this was also back when, you didn't really have a GPS. Google Maps was still in its infancy, if it was even if it even existed.
That life. I can't even imagine that.
Well, this was before smartphones, so you couldn't just get on Google Maps. You could have Microsoft Streets and Trips, but you had to have a laptop mount and the whole 9 yards, and you had to pay like an extraordinary amount of money for that. And we had not a Qualcomm, but Mobile Max. This predated the Qualcomm, so I'm showing my age here. And they had directions on how to get into this place. So I'm freaking out, right? So I get to Money, Illinois. I park, and my trainer, he calls me up. He goes, "Hey, man, what's going on?" It's like, "I'm going to Chicago, man. I'm scared. I'm scared. He's like, "All right, relax. Here's what you do. Slide your tandems all the way forward." But it's like 44,000 pounds. He goes, "I don't care. Slide them all the way forward." I'm like, all right. And it says, and this may or may not have happened, this part of the story, but he goes, "Go in there at 3 a.m. You can adjust it on the paper when you get to the receiver." So he goes, "You're going to beat the traffic. You don't have to worry about any way stations between Moni and where you're going, and you'll be fine. Just stick to the directions on the Mobile Max." I'm like, all right. So I put the tans forward. I start at 3 a.m. and my delivery was at 9 a.m. I go in there and it says, "Get off at this exit, take a left on this road." So I get off the exit, take a left on that road. And he goes, "Now take a left on this road." I took a left, boom, 12-7 bridge. And so the 3 a.m. strategy worked because there was no traffic. And I was able to find a utility pole truck place that barely slid around. So sliding the tandems, that came in handy. And so I thought, well, maybe the Qualcomm or Mobile Max meant right. So I take a right. Now I'm in a village area, like cars on both sides, 10-ton limit road. I'm looking for power lines. And I'm trying to find a way out. Now I'm just trying to find a way out.
Right.
And so there were turns that I couldn't make, or else my tail swing was going to take out cars. There was a lot of one-way roads. I had to get out.
Attack. I know. It's like.
And I'm taking up both lanes, traffic lanes. That's how tight it was. I'm taking up both traffic lanes. And again, the 3 a.m. saved my butt, right? So I finally get out of that. I get on the CB, and no one's helping me on that. And there's another truck who's also lost. He stops and he flags me out. He's like, "Hey, do you know where this and this road is?" I said, "No, but don't go that way." That's all I said, right? And so I go back to the point of origin where I shouldn't have turned left. I get back on that main road, and there's literally this crack hooker on the corner. And I stopped my truck and I motioned her to come to the truck. She's like, thinks she's going to get some business. I'm like, "Hey, how do I get to so-and-so road?" And she's like, "You're on it, idiot." I'm like, "Thank you. Have a nice day." So and then I followed the rest of the directions and got in there. And so I go to the wrong, Pepsi usually has 2 entrances, one for the OTR and then one for their company. Well, I went in the company one, and he's like, "Oh yeah, you're at the right place, but you got to turn around. I'm like, oh no. He said, don't worry. So he helped me back out. I go to the front entrance. I think I made it there at 6. It took me 3 hours to deal with this because I think eventually I got back on the interstate. Now, most normal places, you can just go to the next exit, go over the interstate and turn around, right?
Right.
Not Chicago.
No.
Not Chicago.
No.
And so there was, and this was another strategy that my trainer told me. So as I'm trying to get ready to turn around, I realize I got to go underneath an overpass. And it's not marked, but it looks really low. Yeah. So I just stood there. I got on the shoulder, put my four-ways on. I just stood there and waited for another truck to go underneath. And sure enough, another truck does. I'm like, all right, we're good to go. I mean,
I used to do that a lot too. Like if I feel weird about any of it, like I'll just slow down and like look around, and like if I see another truck coming, I'll just wait for it to clear. I'm like, okay.
and so the next time my dispatcher sent me to Chicago, I was shaking, right? And so I called a buddy of mine, and he's like, and who knows Chicago pretty well. I was like, dude, he goes, what's the worst that can happen? He goes, you come up on a 12-summer bridge and you can't turn around. Just set your four-ways, wave to the people, call the police, tell them what your situation is. That's way better than ram. I mean, he called me off the ledge, right? He called me off the ledge.
Yeah.
You know, and back then, you know, it was still, you didn't have the GPS and all that. So, you know, Petro there in Rochelle, Illinois had this map that you could buy that showed you where all the overpasses, you know, all the underpasses were and all that, that you didn't want to hit. But for the most part, it was a great experience. And so when I got to the receiver, and I got my next load assignment, I went up to her and I said, hey, so do you know where this is? I mean, you know, how do I get back on I-55? She's like, oh, that's easy. Just, you know, take a left here, take a right here, you're good to go. And it was that easy. So once you go through an experience like that, then, you know, it becomes easier. And I've had those kind of experiences in Jersey, and they're great lessons if you don't damage anything. And also if it's on somebody else's dime. That's how you look at that.
Right. Yeah. So. I mean, my main concern, and now like I've got stronger nerves, I guess, maybe from working in El Paso and then working in Chicago after that. Like, now in driving the truck for so long that I've been driving, like, so now, which isn't long compared to you guys or nothing, but now I've got stronger nerves where like if I feel totally fine mentally with if I have to stop that truck and call for help with the police or whatever, or if I have to stop that traffic, if I have to pull out and sit there with my flashers on until I get everyone else in the intersection to freaking stop what they're doing so I can do what I got to do. Like, I have the boldness to control that situation now, where at first, like, I don't even think I would have fathomed that. You know what I mean? So I've gotten seasoned enough to where, like, you know, sometimes you got to stop people or let them know or whatever, or put your flashers on or whatever. Like, if you got to move that truck and they've got to settle down. I used to let them intimidate me, but I don't anymore. Like, now it's like, I'm going to sit here and flash my lights until you let me, that you can get out of the way so I can go or whatever. So that helps a lot.
A friend of mine, he had a great story when he was in trucking school. Or no, it was actually like a train the trainers deal. And the guy that was training him to be a trainer, they actually did a maneuver where they got in a left turning lane up in Minneapolis and then purposely put the truck in a position where he couldn't make the turn. And so he's literally got this whole intersection blocked, and he goes to the other guys, you know, that are in the truck, like, oh, gee darn. Have you know, you'll experience this with the new students. So, you know, they're going to be freaking out. So if you're freaking out, that's not going to be good. So he nonchalantly gets out, apologizes to the people behind him. Hey, I need you to back up a little bit because I screwed up. And then, he put his arm up, just he was all casual about it, and that's the point where a lot of students will panic. You hit that panic point, and that's where the trucks get damaged.
Yeah.
I have, driving a school bus, I put a stop sign. I had to be aggressive about stopping vehicles for the safety of the kids. And there were times when I would position the bus so that would protect the kids. And so when you drive in Jersey, you got to have that aggression, because if you don't, like, there was one intersection where I couldn't swing wide from the road I was turning off of. So I had no choice but to swing and go into all 4 lanes of traffic that were going the same direction. That's how big this road was to make that turn. Well, traffic never let up. It was just, there was never a break. There was never a break. So I rolled down my window and literally creeped out in the first lane and literally just stop, just stop. And the car would stop. I'd make it to where they didn't have to slam on their brakes. If they were paying attention, they weren't going to hit me. And then I had to kind of creep and do the same thing to the next car. And I was like, stop, and do this. And then the third lane, the car, kind of figured out what I was trying to do. And then the fourth lane kind of paused, and was like yelling, but he at least stopped. And then I made my turn. It was crazy, because I sat at that intersection for 10 minutes.
Sometimes I wish we had those flip out stop signs at the buses do, so we can just can you guys just stop? Get out of the way for a second.
Jeff Hunt's point for me and my dad was in the late 80s. So I got you beat on that one. So
what is Hunt's Point?
Hunt's Point is the biggest produce market in deep down in the boroughs of New York City.
Oh. Okay.
So, I mean, back in the day, you would have people.
Boroughs, right? Everybody talks about the boroughs. Don't go to the borough. I said the other thing that I don't really understand is why, and I'm assuming it's because it's not made for our big trucks, but the boroughs of New York, right? People say, "Oh, don't go there either." Well, why?
Not yet, Jeff. She'll look at it today. I will have it done by today. So.
But yeah, so the boroughs, those. I mean, I think most trucking companies don't even go there. I don't see a lot of loads going there, but once in a while I'll see one going near there, and then that's the one that pays really good. But people always say, "Don't go there." Don't go to the boroughs at all.
Well, the thing about a lot of these inner cities, and you'll see it, Kansas City is a perfect example. A lot of these old school, old time, 100-year-old warehouses, they went and bought property outside of Kansas City, like Belton and Harrisonville, St. Joseph. And they use the local trucks to go from warehouse to warehouse. And Chicago's like this a lot now too. Essentially Bolingbrook warehouses are what used to be warehouses in Chicago. So a lot of that is changing. But New York City is the same way. You just got to have a strategy going in, and and again, if you can thrive in that environment, you're going to make money. But you just have to know the risk and the hassle. And at the end of the day, when you're laying back in your bed, you're and your blood pressure is too high. You probably want to do that for you don't want to do that for a prolonged exposure. So it can be exciting, but at the same time, if you do it week in and week out, it might wear on you. So I mean, it's best. All the Northeast stuff that I did as company driver, so it was no big deal as far as the learning curve and all that. I didn't hit anything. There was definitely the potential for that to happen. Nobody hit me. There was one time I was picking up a load in Jersey, and it was out in the country kind of, but still the roads were fairly busy. And there was no directions, so I called the shipper for directions, and they said, yeah, we can't give you directions, click. And I called my dispatcher, just like, you can take this load and shove it. He's like, relax, I will get you directions. And so he goes, okay, here's what you do. You go on this highway, and then you turn right on Jug Handle Road to go left, and then it'll be on the right-hand side after about a mile. And so I'm reading these directions, and I'm looking for a road named Jug Handled Road. I couldn't find it. So after 5 miles, I call my dispatcher back. I'm like, dude, there's no road named Jug Handled Road. He goes, no, it's the style. He goes, it looks like a jug handle. I'm like, oh. Well, no wonder the directions said you got to turn right to turn left. Confused me. He's like, yeah. So I went back. I finally got to the shipper. I was like, I don't know why you guys can't give directions. Like, well, we don't want to be held responsible if you put your truck under a bridge. Well, giving me directions might keep me from doing that, so I didn't understand the logic, so
yeah, I mean, and that's the thing too, like, we don't help other drivers because of insurance, right, liability, right? I mean, I'm not going to say everybody, but a lot of times people don't help each other out here. They're not stopping their trucks to help the next guy anymore because the company will tell you, like, they don't want you to do that because of insurance reasons, right? And so we lose a lot because of that.
But I've been downtown Detroit with deliveries. I've literally delivered at the Chicago Tribune there next to the Sears Tower in Chicago. That was another getting lost in Chicago story. And it was because of the GPS I got on a bad road. So as a company driver, they gave us Qualcomm's now, and it had a GPS. And they told you that it's not 100% truck, and it's not 100% just Google, but it's better than nothing, right? And the problem is it was two-dimensional. So when the truck is stopped and for a long period of time, it automatically points the truck up north. So as I was leaving the Chicago Tribune with my delivery, I thought I had to turn right, and that wasn't the case because it was cloudy. I didn't know which direction I was facing. And so I ended up on a road that didn't look good. So I flagged down a trash truck driver. How do I get back to the interstate from here without, it's a big rig, right? He couldn't speak a word of English. He was like Polish or something. And so now I'm driving in this neighborhood, and mind you, this is like 8 a.m. I passed by this liquor store, and this dude falls backward. I don't know if he passed out or someone punched him out of the liquor store. Fell on the sidewalk as I'm driving by, and I'm like, I need to get the hell out of here. And so, finally, this guy could tell I was like lost, and he comes up to me and goes, hey, yeah, just take a right here, take a left, and you'll be fine. Your truck's fine. I'm like, okay, cool. So, and that was because of the GPS. So, I mean, now, if I was to deliver in Chicago, I'm looking at Google Maps. I'm looking at where I'm going to park. I'm going to recon exactly which way I'm going to come in, and all that stuff. And Jersey's no different. You can do the same thing. So
yeah, that's why I can't imagine, like I said, I'm so spoiled because I have all those tools available to me to like actually look at the place in all the places and look at the drives and plan in my head, okay, I know what I'm going to expect to be seeing and stuff like that. For you guys that was trucking before any of that stuff was available, like, I can't imagine the stress that you had to go through. Like, oh my God, I can't even imagine that. Like, I don't even know if I could handle doing this job if I didn't have the comforts of all of the technology that we have, because I love it. I love I can get a lot of information ahead of time. And like I know Dodie and James was on here last time talking about the maps and how they've always done it before any of this was available. And I just am like, wow, like, because that's really flying blind to me. Like, you don't know. You gotta look on the map and be like, okay, this is what I'm gonna do. And there's so much stuff that we know now that you could never known then, even the weather, right? So you guys were driving into all that stuff like just completely clueless.
Yeah, back then you were better about phone numbers, and you had to be careful though, because you might call the shipping department like, "Hey, I'm so and so. I'm delivering a load there today. I'm in an 18-wheeler. Can you tell me how to get into your facility?" And like, sure, take a right, left, blah blah. Ignore the no truck sign. You're fine. I'm like, really? And then sometimes they'll give you the directions on how they go to work in their Subaru, and don't realize that that you can't go that way in a truck. So
yeah, the day what I'm waiting for is the day that Google, because I use a Rand McNally GPS, but the day that Google adds semi-truck routing onto Google would be the best day ever. I don't know
no,
why they've done it yet.
well, that's hard to do, because what a lot of people don't realize is GPS is used the same 3 or 4 main satellites. And so there's not a whole lot of deviation between all of them. There are some app-based trucker-only routing, but I had to teach my students when I was training how to be GPS savvy, because
it's not always perfect.
well,
my Rand McNally is not always perfect, but I've gotten to every place so far. I just learned that where it gets messed up, like Dallas. I hate going to Dallas because my GPS doesn't know what the hell it's doing, and so that gets very stressful for me. But so it's not a perfect system, but
well,
it gets
there. That's where experience comes in. And I was like, I tell the GPS, I ain't doing that. And I know people that will follow the GPS down a gravel road and wonder what happened. That's how faithful they are to it. And here's a perfect example.
You have to have some common sense in the process.
Well, I'll give you 2 examples. There's a shipper in Fort Smith, Arkansas. And Big Rick Seal, if he's in here, he's probably been there as well. There's one road you can't go down on a truck. You have to go down a specific road. Well, the Garmin's got it wrong. So when you get to a certain point, knowing that you're going up to that next road, the Garmin's freaking out. So now it's any port in a storm. So this is how stupid GPSs are. They will send you down a non-truck route to get you back on a truck route when it thinks that you're not on a non-truck route. So it's stupid, right? So it would literally send me to this gravel road that leads into a woods 4 times in a row. What it is, it's 4 side roads that they never finished building. And then another incident was I had to go around. I was out in Arizona, had to go around some construction, and so it took you off the main road and put you on some of these side roads. And it was either construction or an accident, and the police assured me that it was fine. But the Garmin did not like that road at all, and it was telling me to literally turn left at Motorcycle Trail. And you look, and it's literally a dirt trail in the middle of the desert.
Yeah, I've been the Rand McNally has tried to turn me on county road number 028 or whatever, and it literally was like a tractor road going into the farm fields, and at an angle there's no way I was gonna make it, and I just keep going. I just drive right past it. But it will you have to keep a some sort of common sense when you're using the GPS, because it's tried to take me into residential areas before, and I'm like, no. And so I'll just keep going on the main road. And so as I'm getting more seasoned, like, I'm starting to understand how the highway systems work, right? And what it's better to stay on these what state roads are and interstates and things like that. So I'm starting to get like a real good feel for the map, as far as kind of where I need to keep the truck and where I need to be at, instead of just blindly following the GPS, which is what I've been doing since I started, for the most part. But now I'm getting an understanding of how our highways run and stuff like that. So it
Well,
helps out a lot with fighting.
one of the things that I teach, that I taught students, is scan your intersection before you commit. If the GPS is telling you to turn left, scan that intersection and look down that road. If it looks like something you should do, cool. If it looks like something you shouldn't do, then keep moving. And that's why I try to use the street view as well, on the Googles. Now, Chickenhawk's right about Google Maps can definitely get you some major trouble.
Yeah.
But that's where, you kind of recon it and look at the street views and look at where it's taking you. And if it matches what the truck GPS is, then you're fine. But if it doesn't match, there's a deviation. You got to figure out why.
Yeah, I don't incorporate the Google Maps until I'm like, so the truck GPS will get me there or almost there, and then I'll kick in the Google Maps to actually get me to the right drive, right?
Right.
That's when I actually pay attention to Google Maps, because other than that, Google will take me all kinds of mess because it's built for cars. That's what I'm saying. Like, if they ever develop it for trucks, like, it'll be fantastic, because I do love the detail that it's pretty damn accurate, for cars.
Well, the street views are great too, because like my sister, when I moved my mom up to New York, we were talking about using my own truck. And I remember this town. I'm like, I don't think there's a truck friendly area in that. And she's like, relax, we have trucks come here all the time, that old line. So, well, give me the route. So she gave me the route, and I'm looking at Google Street View, and there's a sign that says 5-ton limit. I told my sister, I can't take my truck down that road. And, and she's like, oh no, we got a driver that does it all the time. I said, yeah, but they live there. Who knows if they're paying the cops off? I'm just a weird bearded guy that's bringing a truck down the wrong road. I don't think they're going to show that kind of leniency to me. And so we end up getting the U-Haul instead. But Google Street View is really good on new areas. But when, the good news is when you drive, I was very blessed that the company I was with, we went everywhere. And so I've been to Salt Lake, I've been to Tacoma, Washington, I haven't been to Miami, but I've been to most of Florida. I've been to New Jersey, I've been to Maine, I've been to Boston. We used to deliver Bass Pro that's in the Patriot Stadium, and I almost got arrested on that story. So,
oh.
That me and the security guard got into it a little bit, and they threatened to call the cops on me. I had my son with me too, so that's a different story for a different day. I'm gonna get off here, Shannon. So
okay. Well, thank you for coming in and elaborating on the issues. I appreciate it very much.
You're welcome. Later.
All right. Have a great day. Pioneer Spirit says, lately I've been stocking up on good old paper maps. Why is that, Pioneer Spirit? Are you stocking up for the zombie apocalypse when we might have to go back to walking on for travel? I think they're always good to have. Like, I do have an atlas in the truck. And thank you, Snowlord, for coming in. That was awesome. I appreciate you for that. I got a better understanding of, New Jersey now, and in certain areas, why people won't go in there. So I appreciate that. That's what I kind of wanted to understand. So thank you, Snorlord, so much. Come on, what it says, he will go out of route quite a ways to avoid traffic signals. Many stoplights are antiquated and are not programmed correctly. But there's no accountability, and they will be all too willing to write a ticket other than make a light reasonable. Yeah, I run through some lights. Not run lights. I'm just saying, like, I noticed some lights are long and some are so short. Like I don't even get to get the truck turn around the corner until the light changes again. I just learned not to stress out about it. Like I'm just going to get out there and go. I don't know what's going on with those traffic lights or how they work or whatever. Come on, what it says, you must slow down to a reasonable speed as you approach a signal, as they are designed for cars. Yeah, they are. Thanks, CT. Starting January 1st, 0.175. Oh, Connecticut. 0.175 per mile charge to run their roads for trucks. Awesome, Connecticut. Yeah, Jeff, I heard about that. And I guess my opinion on it is, not that you asked, but I guess, to me, it's like, I guess we just have to look at that like everything else. Like if there's going to be an extra cost, like tolls in an area or whatever, right? You're going to have to negotiate that into the rate. So are we really going to pay for it, or are they really going to pay for it? So are they shooting themselves in the foot? It's kind of how I'm looking at it right now. Probably, I need to develop some more thoughts on it, but that's like, well, just like the tolls, like when I go to Pennsylvania, I got to figure in all the tolls and I got to get them to pay that money to cover it. That's how I feel about it. So if I'm going to go to Connecticut, I'm going to figure that rate into going to deliver to Connecticut. They're going to pay it, not me. Trucker Jason says, now I will not go back to the Northeast due to Connecticut. Yeah, Trucker Jason, I got a little feisty about it too, because I was like, that sucks. But then I thought about it. Like, well, they're not going to take it from me. They're going to pay for it. If I'm going to run up there, I'm going to figure it into the rate. That's what you do, right? You got to cover that cost now. Wilburn expresses, at the end of the day, the consumers in Connecticut are going to pay for it. Thank you, Wilburn. That's what I just said. Yeah. Because I got all like, well, screw Connecticut. I guess I'm going to starve. And then I was like, hold on, Shannon. No. They're going to pay for it. So the consumers probably even are thinking like, oh, well, truckers are going to pay that extra cost or whatever. No, consumers. It's going to come back on the shippers, which is going to come back on you. So yeah, I had to catch my brain. I had to catch my brain on how to think about that, because I was like, that sucks. And 80% of us out here are going to be like, that's a hot topic we're going to start complaining about. Screw Connecticut, blah, 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 blah. No, stop. Get your business mind on. They're going to pay for it. They can think they're a governor. Let them figure out that they have to be pissed at their governor because their costs are going to increase. Right? Donald Peck says, it is like the New York HUT. Come on, when it says the lights are often 3 seconds yellows. This is insane. So what I do is slow down to 30 miles per hour to be able to stop. Yeah, I slow down at intersections. I do not go full speed through intersections. Not ever. Come on, what it says, I will avoid Connecticut at all costs. Just charge them to cover the cost, Bill. That's what we got to do. They're going to pay for it themselves. So the governor acting like we're going to get more money from truckers. No, you're not. You're going to pay more money to cover that. I mean, that's the way I'm looking at it, guys. Donald says, I live on the border. Another nuisance. Bill says, so when you find yourself in a small town with a bunch of lights, slowing down to a stoppable speed is a wise choice. Yeah, I do not hurry through small towns. There's an officer who has nothing better to do than wait for you. Guaranteed. He's got a small town to manage. There's not much going on. He's waiting for you to come through. Wilburn Express says, I'm still not going to go to Connecticut even if I get paid or just not on principle. They're being dicks. They're going to pay for it though, right? Like their Starbucks is going to be 17 cents more or whatever. You feel me? Like just like tolls, you can't get mad at tolls if you're getting them covered in the rate. Toll it up. You got to negotiate that into your rate so it's not coming out of your pocket. Chicken Hawk says, do the math. Longest route in Connecticut is 143 miles. It comes out to $25. Just add $25 to the rate. Thank you, Chicky. That's what I'm talking about. Chicken Hawk says, add $50 and make yourself happy. There you go. Twitch says, I look at the Connecticut thing in a different way. I look at it as more money for the broker to go around or more leverage to go through it. There you go. There's lots of great things. You can work around it. Truckers Education Network says they stick it to us, so stick to them in the rate. Yes, guys. That's the right idea. Don't let it make you mad. Just change your strategy. You got to work smarter, not harder. Don't let it upset you. Like, governor wants to act like he's going to stick it to the truckers and his people are going to feel good about that. It's going to bring X amount of revenue into the state. It's going to come from your own people, bro. It's such a trick. It's a mind trick. We're not paying it. Donald Peck says, the tax application wants your Social Security number, not your business tax number. Come on, what it says. I just passed a tax for Connecticut citizens. I need $25 for them to look at me. Sounds just as reasonable. Yeah, exactly. Bill wants to know if anyone here is from Connecticut. Jaywalk says tolls or just figure round trip numbers and negotiate. Right. Bill says you owe me $25. The media is so crazy. Like, some days I can look at it and most days I just can't. It's like looking at posted rates. I don't care. I have a business to run. I got to do it whatever the hoopla is. And so I learn to take life day by day. Slow down a little bit. Focus on right now. Instead of taking too much on my brain. So, anyways, today around this evening, I'm trying to get Jerome Jones on with me today. And we're going to do his interview. And I'm in sunny Alabama, enjoying my day. Trying to get over this funk that I picked up on my way to Miami when I went to Miami. The whole Miami adventure turned out, I'm okay with it. I made money. I got out of there nice and smooth. I had to call a different broker who had more loads down there than the one that I'm typically working with on the daily. But it worked out. Sean Fairman says Alabama is a very nice spot. Bill says, we want the funk. Gotta have that funk. Ow! Yeah, that's right. I got it. I haven't been sick in 8 years, guys. This is my fault. I let my immune system get too dehydrated. That's my workaholism has bit me in the butt. And it really sucks because I had everything perfectly planned out so that I could run into Chicky and his lady and spend some time with them. So I was really super excited about that. But I will not expose anybody to germs. Yeah, Alabama's great. I feel like just because I can feel like I can just I don't have to run the truck to stay warm or cold or whatever. I can just leave all the doors and windows open and relax. And I can take a walk and the weather's gorgeous. Trucker Jason says, I will not go. Where's Jason's? Okay. Boop. I will not go nowhere east or northeast of New York State. I like I like upstate New York. I love going there. I got no problems with that. Bill says, you look good from the Florida trip. I wouldn't guess that you're sick. Thanks to the Dayquil and the NyQuil. I've taken the NyQuil to get some rest because I've got pain, right? Body pain. And then I took the NyQuil right before, like when I got up. And now I've had my coffee. And I'm okay. Like it's weird because it comes in waves. So like I'm okay for a while. And like I've been feeling like I just want to get up and work out, but I've got this physical fatigue going on feeling that is just like I can't. Right? So I have to attribute it to the Dayquil and NyQuil has been keeping me moving. Because I did have to do laundry and I still had to clean up my truck and I took my shower and like all that stuff. And when the medicine wears off, I'm in so much pain that I just can't even barely move. So it's a weird thing, you know? But it started out with a sore throat. And I got a lot of respiratory congestion. I don't know if you can hear it in my voice or not. So that's what's going on. But I'm holding it together. Like I'm obviously able to work. I'm just staying away from anyone because I'm not gonna, put anyone else at risk or whatever. I did not even get the beach or any sunshine from Florida like I had planned. I was so gonna take my 34, find a beach, get out on the beach, medicate myself with some sun. And so yesterday was rainy here in Alabama where I'm at. And today is sunny. So I am going to try to get out in the sun today. Because I believe in, we're like a giant plant. We need sunlight just like the plants do. It is healing. It brings us vitamin D, which is outstanding for our immune system. So I do plan on at least getting my body moving and taking a walk. I can't lay in the bed anymore. Like I've literally slept as much as I possibly can. Medicinally induced, I'm sure. Because I just come off a break at home for Thanksgiving. Like I wouldn't think it's because I'm exhausted. I wouldn't think it's because it's stress. I just think I got too dehydrated. Twitch says, as my buddy says, F Connecticut, live free or die, baby. Chicken Hawk says, I was sad. I did my hair and makeup. Yeah, I know, Chicken Hawk. Like, I know it was like, it probably looked to you from like, I was just trying to make an excuse. Like, I was really sad. I was so pumped about that. I was so excited. But out of respect for you and your family, I'm not going to come with a sore throat and expose you. Like I said, I knew it was something coming on set, and I wasn't willing to. I don't know where that thing was going to go. We have to be extra careful about cooties these days. That's the last thing I'd want to bring to you. I was super bummed because I literally had my load structured so I had time in it to stop and visit. And then I also had the weekend, which if everything worked out, I could have went and delivered my load, and then I could have come back and spent my 34 on my spent the weekend. Like, all that was in place. And then I started getting icky. So, super bummed. But the great thing about it is I got to see where to get off there. So I got bearings on the location in the area. So I feel like I got a lot of mystery taken out of the equation. So now next time I kind of be like, okay, this is what I got to do. This is where I got to be, and we can work it out again. So all is not lost, Chicken Hawk. Bill says the Dayquil and NyQuil are raging a battle in your bloodstream like the Crusades. Raging a battle in your bloodstream. Yeah, I'm not a medication person. Like, I started immediately loading my body with the nutrients and the herbs and everything that I normally take on a daily basis anyways. Which is really crazy because I eat a very nutrient full diet and everything. So the fact that I even caught something and it got me is really weird to me. So I'm vitamined up. I'm super greened up. I've doubled on the garlic, drinking the lemon water, so I'm vitamin C'd up extra, and green tea, right? The antioxidants up. Like, I'm all that loaded, and I still was feeling bad. And so I have Dayquil and NyQuil on the truck for just such an emergency. So I had to buckle and decide to take some. But man, I don't know what it is, what the active ingredient is that works in those things, but it will carry a dead body around. Because that's what my body feels like when the medicine wears off. I'm just like, oh my God. So it's definitely holding me up. I don't try to take any medicine. I don't. Like, I try to stay away from it at all costs. And this is that kind of germ. Bill said, look at this. When you get bed sores as a company driver, dispatch not happy. Trucker Jason says, skip dispatch. I will not drive a CMV if I'm under the weather. Yeah, leasing a vehicle. Leasing a vehicle that gets charged daily. You got costs daily that will be in charge of your schedule. Just saying. Jerome Jones could have spent some time at the beach and found out a hot guy. Jerome, we had this discussion. Jerome. Me and Jerome had a discussion about no time for relationships. Me and Jerome had a discussion about, and it wasn't between me and him, don't get the wrong idea. Like, me and Jerome had a discussion about how we're single for a reason And I was explaining to him, like, yeah, I don't have any time for that business. Like, seriously, like, I don't know what people are thinking. Like, they don't understand, right? So no, Jerome, my interest going to the beach is to expose myself to the sun for health and to relax and to breathe some fresh air and get away from the truck. That's it. Bill says, in a banana hammock. Oh, no. Aaron Petticourt is back in the house. Thanks for coming back in, Aaron. Appreciate you very much. Chicken Hawk says, we are home all the time. We are part-time truckers, I've been told. I can dig it. I hope you get to meet up with Wheelburner today. Is that going to work out, Chicken Hawk? Jaywalk says, there's always time for a hookup. Not in my world, Jaywalk. Kind of, I'm really busy and I don't have, this is the thing. Women and men are different about that. Men are more carnal. Like, they can just hook up and whatever. And maybe some women are too. But for the most part, women are very sacred about that kind of thing. And some women are. I get it, guys. Whatever. But most of the time, that's an intimate thing with a woman, requires a relationship and romance and dating and time and whatever, right? So if you find them with chicks that don't care, fine. I'm not a person, like, I'm building a business. And 100,000%, I'm working on so much more than having to worry about hooking up with somebody. I have a lot more important things in my life going on right now. So, Dirty Broke is in the house. Good morning, Dirty Broke. Thank you for coming in. We were just talking about Jaywalk saying there's always time for a hookup. He says, do the math. We work 70 hours a week also. Fair enough. I don't choose to spend my free time like that. And some people do, and that's okay. I'm not hating. I'm not hating on whatever, but I'm saying I don't do that. I have no time for that. Pioneer Spirit says, got to go, everyone. Making pancakes for my daughter. Oh, that sounds yummy. I haven't had breakfast yet. But man, I love in Alabama. I'm going to be bouncing back and forth to Georgia to Alabama on some shorties for the next couple days. Gonna get that profit margin up from what I kind of didn't get coming out of Florida. That's my game plan for this week. I'm glad to see that you're all still out here trucking. Jaywalk, you're my people. Like, I love you. Like, I appreciate you. You're always real. And your 2 cents is always appreciated. I love everybody's different opinions. I do. I appreciate all the beautiful things in people is our differences. That's how I see the world. And to me, it's beautiful. I don't have to agree with how everybody does anything. It doesn't mean that I don't want to hear about it and I'm not interested in your successes and how you're doing things and all of that. That's the beauty of you. And so I'm very excited to know all the different things and stuff that's going on in people's lives, whether I agree with them or not. People are going to do what they want to do. I don't judge people for that. I stand very strongly about what I've decided to have for my life. And that's okay. And some people don't like that about me or don't like some certain things that I do. That's fine. I'm not going to love you any less. some people are adamant about like somebody has to believe the same way as them or they're not going to like them. Well, I hope your horizons broaden because our differences and accepting our differences and being able to come to a point in maturity where you can appreciate, hey, you know what? That's what they believe. That's how they live their life. That's cool. It doesn't have to affect you. Like, so stop being intimidated by how somebody else's different decisions, you know? The great flavor of it all is being able to see the different way that people move or listen to the way that different people move and being able to appreciate that for them, not for you, but for them. If that's what makes them happy, then fantastic. That's my 2 cents. I love you, Jaywalk. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. James Clark says, what's more romantic than seeing the country on someone else's dime? I'm very thankful to be able to see this great country. I love this work. And during the hardest days, it seems like that's what it all comes down to for me. Like, I have to remember, like, this is so great, though. Some days it hurts really bad. I've had some hard months, you know, but I'm like, what's the alternative? The alternative is like something worse. Money's not everything. Bill says, women are sacred about the booty. Yes, we are, as we should be, in my humble opinion. Wheelburner Express says, Chicken Out, please check your text messages. Men are like truck stop beggars. Phil's got a few dollars. Wheelburner says, who are you calling a beggar? Oh, by the way, can I bum a smoke? Donald says, I looked up your Facebook page and now I have over the road truck ads galore. I wouldn't doubt it. I'm not a big Facebook person, but I'm trying to practice this multi-platform thing with StreamYard. To like, I guess when we broadcast, we do it just one time over all the things. I'm not a big Instagram person, but I don't know, guys. I don't know. I'm just like trying to get some more subscribers so I can get monetized. You know, maybe I can make $5 extra a month off of YouTube. Yes, you can. Donald Peck says, I'm your first follower. Are you? On my Facebook page? Yeah, I just made the Facebook page not too long ago. So it is Shannon Thomas Trucking on Facebook for you Facebook people. I'm not a big Facebook person, so it's not going to be a real active thing. But if you are a Facebook person, I'm going to try to stream my streams to Facebook as well as YouTube. Okay. I am going to try to hook it up to Instagram, but for some reason, when you do start the broadcast in StreamYard, it doesn't give you the Instagram option. I don't know if that's something I have to set up with the Facebook page or not. I'll figure it out. So if you want to connect with me on Facebook, there is a Shannon Thomas Trucking Facebook page. Please do. And thank you, Donald Peck, for being my first follower on my Shannon Thomas Trucking Facebook page. I used to be big in Facebook, but it's so invasive. It's like an invasive weed. So, you guys haven't hit the like, please hit the like. I do I'm going to do some videos this week. Wheelburner has asked me to do a video, and it's for their channel, where I'm going to do like a profile basically about being a female trucker, working on the spot market, and a little bit of background about myself. I've really been struggling with how I'm going to do this in the format, because I have to send it to them. So I'm trying to figure that out. But anyways, the content is that. So I'm thinking about, might be the easiest to put it in a YouTube video on my channel, and then they can embed it. But I think I probably have to talk to Dar about that. So that's going to happen. I'm also going to try to start filming some more stuff about how showing me working. Showing me doing the trucking thing. I never really have done that, because it's like there's so many chick videos out there that do that. That's how it starts. What starts, Bill? What are you talking about, Bill? Snorlax says I can't find it on Facebook. Are you spelling my name right? That's going to be the first thing. Let's see. I think I might start doing some activities throughout my day as I do my job type stuff. It seems like people like to see that. And I think I should try to, if you guys have ideas that you'd like me to do videos on, of course, I'm always open to ideas, but I'm just trying to imagine stuff that maybe might be cool. Maybe might help grow my channel. All right, so if we're on Facebook and we search for Shannon Thomas trucking. Yeah, it's there. It's there. Hang on. My computer just said plug it in. Don't want to lose power. Okay. Steve Allington is here from Facebook, so it's there. Hi, Steve Allington. It's Starlord. I so don't know his last name, so now I do. Okay, so thank you, Snorlord, for jumping in there like that. Mark Ely's in the house. Good morning. I am totally hungover. All right, Mark. Well, I'm glad you had a good yesterday. Yeah, Snorlord says, I found it. Snorlord OG, by the way, that channel. We're trying to get more subscribers over there. So if you guys are not subscribed to the Snorlord OG channel, please go over there and subscribe. But yeah, he says, I found it. It helps if I spell your name right. Yeah, so you guys will notice my name is spelled Shannan, Shannon with an A at the end. Thomas Trucking. Did you keep your pants on this time? I'm assuming you're talking to Mark Ely. Lucky Lady's in the house. Good morning, Lucky Lady. Thank you for coming in. I appreciate you. Yep. And she says, make sure you're spelling Shannon the right way. Yep. That's usually the case. Mark Ely says, scored a load Friday, San Antonio to Houston for $2,400. I was heading home to Mexico, changed my direction pretty quick. Okay. Dan Rumble has just come into the house. Good morning, Dan. He says, good morning. I'm calling shenanigans. Yes. Every time we have coffee, it's shenanigans going on. So I don't know where I'm off to next this week. I'm gonna bebop from Georgia to Alabama because it seems like there's quite a bit of short hops that are worth some good money there. And I think I can just ping pong for a little bit. So if I can do it all week, that's what I'm going to do. Hang out in the warm weather. You know, I do want to go back up. I have to get home soon because I got to get my fuel locks because my fuel locks has arrived at the house. My products, my additives for the winter time. And so I am going to have to eventually, within a week or two, I'm feeling like I need to get my butt back up, pick up my products from the house. And then I want to make my way back to Illinois and get in that market area. What? I woke up at some woman's house with some kid saying, Grandma. What the heck did you drink, Mark? Sounds like you had a Jaeger night or something like that. Bill says, my truck will be out of the shop Monday, hopefully. A plethora of items were attended to on my trusty steed. That's great, Bill, because, you know, that's what I'm feeling good about now is because I know if all the maintenance could get to the pattern where I could get it done in the wintertime, I guess no time of the year is great, but maybe if there's a certain season to have the truck and get all the maintenance done in a certain period of the year. Mine happened to me, but I got it all done, and it's probably going to be that same pattern every year. But I feel great that it's done for me. It's done because I know a lot of people are having issues where they're going into the shop right now. But my stuff is done, and I'm ready for the winter. I should be fine with no holdups for the wintertime. She's good to go. Like she has been maintenanced as much as she could possibly have been maintenanced, and new tires and new brakes and new shocks and all of that stuff. So new bunk heater, right? Mark Ely says Jaeger bombs and crappy beer. That will do it, Mark. That will make you forget what's going on. You're waking up at places you don't remember how you got there. Bill says, I'll get you a purple seat cushion, Shannon, if I can. I've always wanted to try one of those. Like, I have one, but it's mine's it's an Ergo Drive brand, but it's like memory foam, but it's got the jelly in the middle. And so it's kind of like an off-brand, but it was like only $20-some instead of the expensive price of the purple thing. But I eventually will have one of those. I was just trying to be cheap, save some dollars. Nathaniel Gabriel, I'm tearing this up. Nathaniel Griebel Am I saying that right, Nathaniel? Good morning. I'm freezing my butt off in Iowa. Yeah, I'm in Alabama. It's warm. Look at, sunny, warm. Wish you were here. I'm going to take a good walk today. I feel like I just need to walk out this germs. I feel like if I exercise, I can just expel the demons, get them out of my cells, just, right? Lots of water today. That's in the plan. James Clark says, short hops in Alabama, pretty good. I'm doing a shorty on Wednesday in Alabama. Yeah, there's some shorties going on down here. Georgia to Alabama. Boop, 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 boop. So I'm going to capitalize on this while I'm here. Because because of the lack of extra profit, getting myself out of Jacksonville to here and from Miami to Jacksonville, I have a little bit of making up to do. Mrs. Nevada is in the house. Here she is. Good morning, Mrs. Nevada. I hope all is well. Trucker Jason says, drink a Heineken at Mark Ely. That's the medicine from Trucker Jason he's recommending. Mark says, what's the best mattress to buy? I got one from the mattress store. It's a good, but upgrading January 1st. Whew. Okay. So I don't know what kind of truck you got, but I went to a store called Big Lots. We have this in Michigan. It's just like I don't even know what to call it. It's a discount department store, I guess. And I was able to find a mattress there that was a memory foam mattress. And it's a twin size mattress. And it comes in a box. And it was $200. And I bought that. And then I brought it in the truck. And I unrolled it. And then it swells up because the air comes into it. Right? It's vacuum packed. And it's absolutely wonderful. I have a great bed. So that's what I chose to spend $200 because, and I've also heard the trucker mattress. God, what's the name of it? If anybody thinks of the name of it, it's the one, right? It's the one's like $500. And they try to sell it at the Joplin big truck stop. I forget the name of it. Anyway, you can go big and spend all kinds of money on these things. But if you have a Freightliner like me, there's room in here for a regular twin size mattress. Just go to the store and buy yourself a nice pillow top twin size mattress for a twin bed and pop that sucker in there. Nathaniel Griebel. I said your name correct. Okay. Thank you. John S. is in the house. Good morning, John S. I live in Georgia. Rates are down, but Georgia always has good loads if you're patient when looking. Yeah, I found a couple of goodies coming out of there, just jumping over here to Alabama. So I'm going to hip hop for a little bit like that. Mark Ely has a Cascadia. Okay, Mark. So yeah, I would recommend just going to a regular furniture store, mattress store, or whatever. Don't go online and look for specific truck mattresses because they will charge extra. Go to the regular furniture store, find yourself a nice pillow top, comfy, memory foam, whatever, like whatever you like, extra firm, whatever, something that's, not too soft because it's not good for your back. But find the one you like and then wrestle that thing and get it put in there. And you will be sleeping great and feeling great every day because you're getting a good night's sleep on a nice, comfortable bed. That's one of the greatest things in my day is that when I'm done driving, I can just go back there and sleeping like a baby. When I first started, when I was teaming, we just slept on the regular Freightliner mattress that was back there because it wasn't quite wide enough. I think the 2018 trucks or 17 or whatever, it wasn't quite wide enough for a twin size mattress like this one is now. So we tried using that stock mattress and then bought like the extra foamy layers and stuff to put on top of it. I can say now I sleep so much better now that I can just put any twin mattress inside there and it fits perfectly. They widen that space so that we can do that. Yeah, Joplin's is extremely overpriced. What do you, Bill? Slap Luke's butt and leave a red handprint and say it's from Shannon's chat. Who's Luke? What are you talking about? Did I miss something? I don't know what to talk about, Bill. Bill says, I got my mattress from Costco, best price, and it's a Sealy Serta high quality. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So you can go to Costco or Sam's or whatever. Yeah. That's what I recommend too, because if you go on Amazon and look for like specific truck mattresses, you're gonna see craziness. Big Lots equals Harbor Freight. Yeah, Donald Peck, you know what I'm saying. It's that kind of place. But I'm super happy with it. Like, it's been great. Bill says, do you have a teddy bear back there? No, I just have extra pillows back there. That's pretty much it. Mark Ely says, sorry, I might ask a question that has been asked. How did you get out of Miami? Yes, we asked earlier. I got a load from Miami to Jacksonville, and then I got a load in Jacksonville to Alabama. Come on, when it says Mrs. Nevada, I guess I forgot his name. Are you talking about Kyle, her husband? Kyle, if you're talking about Mrs. Nevada's husband, that's Kyle. You're killing me, Bill. Yeah. Okay, we're not going to go further with that one. Trucking with T-Bone's in the house. Good morning. Yay, coffee. Yeah. Thanks for coming in, Trucking with T-Bone. I have yet to watch your drum video. Like, I've been trying to remember to do that. Everybody say hi to Trucking with T-Bone. Bill says, Kyle, I knew it was a 4-letter word. Okay, so let's go back and replace Luke with Kyle. So Bill says, slap Kyle's butt and leave a red handprint and say it's from Shannon's chat. Yeah, I like that. Chicken Hawk says, we have the Drift mattress. That's it, Chicken Hawk. I was trying to think of the name of it. It's comfortable, but it's firm. $730. Okay, so I found that mattress for $500. But that's expensive too. And the one that I got from Big Lots is so similar. The only difference it doesn't have is the fortified edges, right? Because you sit on the edge of the bed and the Drift guarantees that it'll never sag and whatnot, right? So I did like that about it. But for $200, I'm willing to like take the cheaper one. But it is very like I sleep like a baby, and that is my reward at the end of the day. Trucking with T-Bone says, it's not posted. I sent it to Snore Lord. May post it soon as I flashback Friday video. Oh, okay. I thought it was posted. Well, no wonder I haven't seen it yet. DIY Semi's in the house. Good morning, DIY. Thank you for coming in. Mark Ely says, you on Twitter? Yeah, I am. But my God, I haven't visited that account in so long. I can hook StreamYard up to Twitter, go to Twitter too. But what happened when I set it up is it made me a new Twitter page, and so I have to fix that. I will fix it because I do want to get my Shannon Thomas Trucking on Twitter, and then that way I can broadcast to all three of these platforms at the same time. I just have to figure out the Instagram part. Thank you, DIY, for coming in. Hey, if anybody perhaps does not know about DIY's channel, which I doubt that because everybody in here knows about DIY's channel, I'm going to suggest that you go over there. And even Cash is King, let me throw that one in there. Go to Cash is King and DIY Semi's channels and subscribe. I'm pretty sure every single person in here is already subscribed to their channels. But in case you're not, I'm going to highly recommend that you do that today. It's great stuff. Come on, what it says, if anybody needs help testing out their new mattresses, I'm available weekdays from 8 to 2:30. Bill. Anyways, Mark says at DIY Semi, good morning, brother. Bill says, hi, DIY. DIY says, it's fun to have a wrench. Oh, do you have a wrench? You should have a wrench. Hang on. I'm on StreamYard, so I can't see it. Just a second. So I said earlier, if anybody's interested, I do have the Shannon Thomas Trucking Facebook page that I started. You can find it on Facebook. There. You have to spell my name right. So if you're a Facebooker, you can connect that way too. Oh, DIY, I got you. Is there anybody else that needs a wrench? Yeah, let me know. Hot Seat's in the house. She says she's just stopping to drain my used coffee, enjoying your show. Okay, thank you, Hot Seat. I love you. I can't, Hot Seat, I want to get you on here for an interview, girl. Donald Peck. I just gave you a wrench. I think everybody else is wrenched in here. Wrenchy. Okay, everybody's good now. And Pioneer Spirit. I know he's probably not in here no more. Okay, I think that's everybody. Thank you for telling me that, DIY. Of course, I naturally assumed I had given you a wrench already. So I apologize about that. Bill, you can't give your wrench to DIY. Wrenches are only for pretty people. The great thing is, DIY, that everybody's pretty in this chat. This is where all the sexy people hang out, right? Bill says, I went to mattress testing college with DIY back in 2005. We graduated with honors. That's interesting. DIY, I didn't know that about you. That's interesting. I thought he just knew everything else about fixing everything. I had no idea he had a mattress testing background. Thanks for coming in, DIY. Hey, if you're not doing anything, I'll be happy to put the link if you want to come in and hang out for a second. Sterling Trucking Delivers, Mr. Red Lady is in the house. He says, good morning, kids. Nomadic Brick says, I'm back. The UK is good. Oh, good. Yeah, Britt got to talk to his family. That's pretty awesome. I'm very happy to hear that. And I know that's gotta have you feeling like the warm and fuzzies right now. Got to hear from your mom. Trucker Jason says, I'll give my wrench up too. I'm uglier than a sack of manure. Trucker Jason, come on. He says, I'm at the tavern for biscuits and gravy. Man, that sounds good. Doesn't breakfast sound good right now? Well, Sterling says, first night in Red Lady's house and everybody got pregnant. Okay. That's great. That's great, Sterling. I'm glad you broke in the place. You consummated the space, right? Sterling is attacks anything that moves. When he comes to my house, the fish stops swimming. Sean Fairman says, DIY for president. Trucker Jason says, Shannon Thomas is by far in the top 10 most beautiful women I've ever seen. Oh, shucks, Trucker Jason. Thanks, but thank you. I'm just going to say thank you. I'm definitely not one of the top 10 most beautiful women ever. I try to get, I'm trying to just hang in there with my age, right? And I still look younger than what I am. Like, most people think I'm younger than what I am. But I'm really just trying to take care of myself and be a healthy person. And that's all. And be a good spirit and be a good heart. I want to be beautiful on the inside instead of the outside. But trying to keep a balance between both isn't too bad, right? I'm trying. Hide your parents, Sterling says. Uncle Sterling. He says, hide your parents. DIY says, Sean, send me the details on the truck. Nevada Trucking and Trails is in the house. Who is Kyle? Bill, by the way. How's it going, Shannon? Okay. So did Mrs. Nevada slap you on the butt and leave a red mark and say that was from Shannon Thomas Trucking chat this morning? Because Bill had asked her to do that. Thanks for coming in, Nevada. Yeah, there he is. There he is. Everybody's saying hi to Nevada Trucking and Trails. Who is Kyle, by the way? In case you didn't know. Sterling, I hope your night was good. And I really hope you're feeling better. I'm fighting a bug myself right now. DIY, are you really at a tavern somewhere? Are you really having biscuits and gravy? Like my stomach instantly started growling. Nevada says, how did you fare getting out of Florida? I booked a package deal, and of course they canceled out part of the deal. So yeah, that can happen. That can happen. Mr. Red Lady says, I'm fighting to keep a head cold out of my chest. Yeah, I've got it in my chest. It's a respiratory thing. I am staying consistent with the Dayquil and the NyQuil to keep functioning. When they wear off, I start getting a lot of pain. Nevada says, we're getting ready to hit the beach make the best out of it. Booked out at 4:00 tomorrow. Yeah, and that was my plan. Like, to me, it's like, hey, if I'm gonna get stuck in Florida, if I'm gonna get stuck anywhere for a day, I'd rather be there where I can do that, right? And I would have hung out and stayed the week. I'd be there right now and stayed with Chicken Hawk and them, but I started getting this sore throat, and that called off everything. So I'm not gonna worry about it. Like, God, how many times does people tell me, like, Shannon, you need to take a day off, or you need to get out of the truck, or da da da. Like, well, if I'm gonna get stuck somewhere and have an excuse, then that's where I would want to be. James Clark says taverns in Wisconsin. That's shocking. Sterling says DIY lives where taverns probably serve fantastic food. I live in Wisconsin. So much. Come on, what it says. Kyle, if a jellyfish stings you, you have someone to pee on it. Yeah, that's true. It's good to be there with a partner, right? Nomadic Brett says, Kyle, you were doing a beach vid with you wearing your budgie smugglers. Are you doing a beach vid with you wearing your budgie smugglers? Yeah, Nevada, if you're stuck there, like, make a day. Like, God, you guys deserve it. Trucking with Timo says, Britt, let's hope he's not. Bill says we need to bring banana hammocks back in style. This time with a fringe. Well, you know what, Bill? We can try it. Like, we can get. I'll once I hit 1,000 subscribers, we'll put something like that in the merch store and see how we do. Okay, I'm down. Sterling says, Shannon, did you get to enjoy Florida at all? No. No, I ran solid the whole time I was there because once I figured out that I couldn't stop and for Chicken Hawk and stuff, I just booked loads get me right back out because I had to move out of there and I was feeling so crappy. Even if I did have time to get to the beach, like, I was barely even, I just was feeling bad. So I just needed to keep going. So no, I didn't. So we're going to take a rain check on that. I had my loads planned. I had time. I had time for a 34, everything. It would have worked out great. Miss Nevada says, no, you can pee on it. That makes it worse. I think she says, no, you can't pee on it. That makes it worse. Is that right? I always thought it took the venom out or something like that. Trucking with Timo says, wait, they went out of style? Some guys still wear them, T-Bone. Like they do. Cool Trucking's in the house. Good morning, Cool Trucking. Thanks for coming in. Yeah, I'm in Alabama now. So I made it to Alabama. And today is, I think I finished my 34 last night, but I got today because my load that I have is not due until tomorrow. I picked it up at the port in Jacksonville and brought it here. So it's some fertilizer. And so it's not due till tomorrow, but I needed the extra day anyways to rest. I'm really, really trying to get better and rehydrate myself and all of that. So I haven't been sick in 8 years. I let myself get too dehydrated, and that's how I picked up the funk that I have. So it is like a chest respiratory congestion type thing going on. It started with a sore throat, and then when the medicine wears off, I get achy, right? But I've been hitting the nutrients hard. HEN Farms is in the house. Thanks for coming in, HEN Farms. DIY says, ever had biscuits and gravy with bacon gravy instead of sausage? Make you want to slap your mama? No, but you're making me hungry. Is that what are you really at a place out to eat right now? Like, what's going on? Were you serious about that? You're talking about food like you're looking right at the menu. Trucker Jason says, we went from sharing some trucking stories to wearing Speedos on the beach. That's how this crowd is, Trucker Jason. It is no holds barred. Everybody could be naked from the waist down, and whatever subject comes up will come up. There's some definite chasing rabbits that goes on around here. It's okay. Cool Truckin' says, what we talking about? Just kind of talking about whatever, just having some coffee. We started out talking about New Jersey, going into New Jersey, why people don't want to go to New Jersey, why people are afraid to go to New Jersey, why people say you shouldn't go to New Jersey, and that was Snowlord earlier. And then I've talked a little bit about this chest cold thing, whatever you call it, that I picked up, and why I didn't get to see Chicken Hawk in Miami. So then we talked about how I got out of Miami when I went to Miami, and now I'm in Alabama. And Snowlord told some trucking stories about some of his experiences. And Bill has been cracking some great jokes the whole party. And let's see what else happened. Who got drunk? DIY Semi's in the house. That's important. Nomadic locked his keys out of his truck and had to pay to get somebody to let him in there. And the Nevada family is in Florida right now, getting ready to just call it a day and go to the beach and have some fun. And DIY Semi's talking about breakfast. And Sterling got his stuff moved into Red Lady's house and consummated the area. Truckin' with T-Bone says, I think that's a good summary of what we talked about so far, guys, right? Let me know if I missed anything important. Truckin' with T-Bone says, delivering near Michigan beaches this afternoon, but I don't think I'm going to visit. It's a little chilly for all that. Yeah, Michigan, Michigan water is always cold. Wheelburner says, DIY, it wouldn't take that much to get me to slap my mama. Nevada says, peeing on things usually makes things worse in my experience. Just so you know, I learned in college that urine is sterile. My anatomy teacher actually tried to convince us to go home and taste our urine. Assured us that it was sterile, so there wouldn't be any germs or get sick off it or whatever. But then further try to tell us that it has a sweet taste because you can taste the sugar in it. Now, I don't know who really went home and tried that, but I wasn't doing it. But he explained all that. We were talking about urine that day. I'll never forget that for some reason. Oh, I was down here to Sterling. Mr. Red Lady says, Bill is the kind of guy that wears a fanny pack, a ball cap to hide the bald spot. Oh, and we talked about mattresses too. Cool Truckin', by the way. Mullet jean shorts and Creedence Clearwater Revival vest. I don't know. What do you think about that, Bill? Let's see what he says. Truckers and Speedos brought to you by Hawaiian Tropic today. I would make a calendar with those photos. I'm just saying. I would do that. 6 says, do you ever mess with other truckers on the CB and say the old I ain't got no panties on? No. No, I don't. I stay off the CB unless it's for safety reasons. um, come on, when it says, I've never owned a vest nor a fanny pack nor jean shorts. I did have a bit of a mullet back in the 80s, but it looked good. A woman attacked me once. Cool Truckin' says, what's in New Jersey? Oh, we were talking about going to New Jersey, why truckers don't want to go to New Jersey. Like, because I haven't been to New Jersey yet. And my trip to Miami was my first time to Miami. So I was just I was asking the crowd earlier, like, why don't people want to go to New Jersey? So we had that discussion earlier. Snorlord came on and elaborated a lot on, the things in New Jersey and factors to think about and things like that. Old School New School says, just woke up, slept in on a 34. Yeah, I did too. I slept in late. Tyrannus, you can only do that if you're driving a white Volvo and parked back in the back row. You guys are funny. Chicken Hawk says DIY doesn't use menus. He smells his way to the food. I mean, that's what I do. If it smells good, I'm like, what is that? Then I ask what it is. Mr. Red Lady says, resting for the day, gotta work tonight. No rest for us potbelly elves. Well, it sounds like you need the rest after you got in the house and went ham. Rest it up, brother. Bill says breakfast equals breaking your fast from the night before. Yep, exactly. Bill says I taste my own urine and have a real good aim. Great. DIY says I gotta do taxes and turn wrenches. Good day, all. Okay, thanks DIY for coming in. Appreciate you. Next time maybe you can come on with me for a little bit. I hope so. Come on, what it says. Take care, DIY Simon. I love you, brother. And Sterling says, good day, DIY. And Cool Truckin' says, I do hide the bald spot. Chicken Hawk says, that's why I didn't go to college. Right? His name was Dr. eBay, and he was my lecturer for human anatomy. And he was from Nigeria. He had a very, very strong Nigerian accent. He's very hard to understand, and he was the lecturer. So it was tough. It was always tough to listen to him. Was like, Bill says, I wonder what month of Speedo calendar I would be. It's a good question, Bill. I don't know. I wonder how they figure that out. I wonder if there's a method, like who's Mr. Miss September, right? I don't know. I love people the way that they are. I just do. I think it's a beautiful thing. Old School New School says, New Jersey isn't bad, just too expensive. I don't want to go to California. I don't want to go to California either. I'm not trying to go to California. And I guess if I'm going to try to go to California, based on my recent experience to Nevada, apparently I only want to head west when the weather's all going to be all good, right? So, anyways, I hope people are getting a rest day today. It's the first day of the week. I'm glad that everybody's still here hanging in there. I know everybody's going through a lot of difficult stuff right now. It's really tough to have hope and hang on to it. And our work is feeling really harder now. At least mine is. But I want to encourage you and congratulate you for making it this far. And any of you that are struggling with some depression or it's dancing around your mind and things like that, I want to encourage you to try to find it within yourself to love yourself, to accept that you do a great job, to accept that you've been here this long, and perhaps God brought you all this way for a reason, and that you made it this far, and there's a reason for that. So I want to encourage you to be a little bit positive in how you're looking at this next week. And we're all hoping that this storm of what we're in the freight market is getting shorter and shorter and shorter. And we're going to see a change soon. I know I've been hearing that we're probably looking more at March. We got to stick it out. We got to be strategic. Mentally, you have to be healthy. So I'm going to encourage you to steer your mind towards positive thoughts. Listen to some motivational speakers. If you're into the church thing, listen to some sermons just to keep your mind on hopeful, positive things. Whatever it is that you have to do to surround your brain with positive energy, I'm going to encourage you to do that this week. Try to do just 2% better in your diet if you can. The food affects our moods and our hormones a lot, believe it or not. If you are fighting some depression, try to eat healthier. It's probably going to help balance some of that out. Take some walks if you can. If you're not in the cold area, get some body movement in. That also helps balance your hormones. Wheelburner Express says, my beautiful lady just dropped me off at my truck and I'm getting ready to head down to Jersey. Okay. Hey, Wheelburner, are you going to meet up with Chicky? Come on, it says DIY comeback. We obviously need help. Cool Truckin' says, that's good. You don't need to go to Jersey. Put your thumb in the door jamb and slam it. That's the same as going to New Jersey. Trucker Jason says, at Chicken Hawk, did point out something about college. I didn't want a worthless degree. Getting a CDL was worth my time and paid pretty good for seeing the country. Yeah, I agree, Trucker Jason. I could have finished my degree, but long story short, it was a waste of time for me. Old School says, yep, go west when the weather is good. I get to Las Vegas quite often in the winter since there are crybabies that don't want to go in the winter. Yeah, I'm a crybaby about that right now because I don't have chains. Old School, do you chain up when you're out there? Nomadic Brit says, well said, young lady. Wheelburner says, thank you, Shannon. Well said. Thank you. I love you guys. I want to do these Sunday morning new week kickoffs to get some positive thoughts going, to get some positive energies flowing for the new week. Because everybody gets buck wild the rest of the week, right? So I just want to give you a spot to start from. First day of the week, smells, love, and light, say some positive things. Sometimes we need to be reminded to think about some stuff, because you can be surrounded by so much negativity and it can make you forget. It can make you get like absorbed into that. And so I'm going to speak it. I'm going to speak those things. Sterling says, eat healthy too. Nummies ruin my mood. Yeah, it's very serious. Like, I'm not just trying to be all warm and fuzzy. Like, it is a physical reaction. The crap food that you're eating is the contaminants in there will mess up your hormone levels. And when your hormone levels get messed up, you get messed up. And it's a lot harder to have the defense mechanisms mentally when your hormones are messed up to fight the negativity, right? It's true. You can, don't believe me, do your research. I'm just trying to remind you of that, if you know what I mean. Cash is my motivational speaker. He lives in a van down by the river with the windows down. Yeah. Cash is a great motivational speaker. Wheelburner says, yes, I will be hooking up with Chicken Hook around 9 o'clock tonight. Oh, I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to that, Wheelburner. I hope you guys do some video. He says the poor bugger doesn't know what he has coming to him. Yeah, you two are like, it's gonna be like a powerhouse moment. Like, I'm excited for you. I can't wait. Two of my favorite guys are gonna like meet up, and please get some video, Wheelburner, please. I can't wait to see Chicken Hawk. He never shows himself on his videos. Donald Peck says New Jersey has port action if you plan to get in and get back out quick. Okay. Wilburner says, not this morning. Would it? She let me off easy. Oh, Bill was saying sauerkraut fumes. Wilburner said that this morning. Yeah, Wilburner, I steam that stuff. But really? Most of the time I just get it from the can. Because it's already, like, you can just eat it from the can. So there's none of that cooking business. Because I was trying to think, well, I think I've only cooked it fresh one time like that. But in the truck, I steam everything. Mr. Red Lady says, Wheelburner Chicken Hawk has some great food on his truck this week. Steal some. Bill says, try out Chicken Hawk's mattress for me. Wheelburner says, I don't eat seafood sterling, or at least the type that swims. Bill says, I'm taking a survey. Wheelburner says, I'm definitely going to do that. Trucker Jason says, speaking of seafood, I always wanted to try king crab, possibly some lobster too. Oh, king crab is great, and lobster is great. Yeah, Britt agrees. I won't do the calamari. Gross. No. Ew. Can't do it. Yeah, Old School says, sauerkraut in the can is nasty. Get the darter bagged. Cool Truckin' says, you have a positive polarity and negative polarity, and some people run on negative energy. Avoid those people. They look for crisis. Yeah, I guess the point that I'm trying to get across is that if you find yourself being more negative, like, you would never think that this is a real thing, but look at your diet. It seriously will affect you that way, because some people are like stuck in negativity and don't feel like they can get out, or don't know why they feel like they can't get out of it or whatever. Please look at your diet. It is proven that the chemicals and the crap and the oils that they're putting in the processed foods that we get nowadays will send you into depression by chemical warfare, okay? By hormone imbalance. I promise it's true. Wheelburner says, I don't care what beautiful package you wrap sauerkraut in, I'm not eating it. Wheelburner, what about a Reuben sandwich? Can you handle it in a Reuben? Bill says, I run on positive, silly energy. Me too, Bill. That's why I think you're awesome, because you are. Dodalina says Chicken Hawk doesn't come on video because he's too tiny and he's always playing tricks on Foghorn Leghorn. That's funny, Dodie. Old School says Wheel Burner, I know other people like that. Then again, they eat nasty food that I don't like. Chicken Hawk says, I'm hoping Wheel Burner will do my deliveries with me. He can film if he wants. Wheel Burner says, Old School, I'm a simple guy. Meat and potatoes, rice. That's just about it. Old School says, that works too, Wheel Burner. Wheel Burner says, oh, I see how it is, Chicken Hawk. You just want to get free labor with your deliveries. I'm on to you, buddy. Cool Truckin' says, when it comes to chaining, I have a rule. I only chain to get out of trouble, not to get into it. That's what I'm talking about, Cool Truckin'. I'm not trying to go into chain areas. I'm not. Yeah, calamari is squid. Okay? Shannon's not ever eating calamari again. I tried it because I'm a trier. I'll try almost anything once. Not again. Wheelburner says a Reuben sandwich to me is like used toilet paper, so the answer is no. Okay. Mr. Red Lady says I'm sending Wheelburner to demand Chicken Hawk to film a pre-trip on his airplane. Yeah. Yeah, Chicky. We're fat. Listen, this is to Chicken Hawk. I'm going to speak on behalf of the rest of the group. We're fascinated by the fact that you drive an airplane, that you fly an airplane. Probably because most of us wish that we could fly an airplane. So if it is not that exciting to you, please understand that it is very exciting to us, because that is like something kind of rare that we know people that do that, right? So believe us when we say that we would like you to do more videos of all the stuff that you have to do as a pilot, because that's interesting. I hope I represented everybody's opinion on that fairly. Trucker Jason says, I'd sooner try a Diablo sandwich with a Dr. Pepper. A Diablo sandwich? What's that, Trucker Jason? It sounds like it's probably like a hot pepper thing. I don't know. All right, guys, we have 3 hours and 16 minutes. I've got to go to the bathroom, and I want to get some breakfast because DIY has made me hungry by talking about all of that biscuits and gravy business. So I'm going to let you go. We're going to stop our coffee time. I want to wish you all a great week. I love you. Be safe out there. Make the best of it. Hang in there one more week. And I need some prayer so I can get well again, please. I'm sure it's going to happen. I am recovering. I feel like getting a little bit better every day. But God bless you guys. And stay well, stay healthy, drink lots of water. Please hit the like button for me, please. Come on, what it says, I want to see Chicken Hawk's airplane wheel chocks. Yeah, Chicken Hawk, we want to see all that stuff. Mr. Red Lady says, Chicken Hawk has too much freedom. Open roads and open skies, too much freedom. Hey, I'm not mad at him. He's living his best life. Right? That's all we're all ever trying to do, right? Old School says anyone can fly a plane. Taking off and landing properly is another thing. Okay. Chicken Hawk says, hey, I work a solid 28 hours a week. I love it. I want to be more like Chicken Hawk. Everybody's saying take care of each other. I'm H2O intolerant. Water is the key to life. So, and hey, if you're not in a cold area, get some exercise this week. Give your body some love. Get the heart pumping. You know, get get your muscles moving and all that stuff. But thanks, guys, for hanging out with me. Please hit the like. I love you. I'm going to eat some food. And probably take some more medicine. Have a great day. Chicken Hawk says I will do some airplane videos Wednesday. We are flying to the Keys. God, Chicken Hawk, I can't wait to go to the Keys with